I'm about to clap them cheeks, boy. I'm about to clap them cheeks.
What are you doing? What are you Hank Hill?
Bobby. No, Dad. It hurts.
Shut the fuck up, boy. You're gonna take this like a man.
Oh my lord! Immediately. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome back to the Snark podcast. So, just quick housekeeping. We recorded an episode last week, and the files got fucked. So we apologize for that. We are going to be running through the questions that we went through in that episode later on. So your questions aren't going to be skipped or nothing. Just wanted to get that out of the way in the beginning, so you guys didn't think we skipped some of you. But yeah, man, we got what is this, episode 114?
I'm pretty sure, or 15. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, no, 114.
No, it's 14.
It is technically 115, but it can't be. Because,
yeah.
But I feel like there's a lot to get through today. So what are you doing?
Trying to get water.
Are we sponsored by that shit?
No, yeah, don't do that. Don't fucking do that.
I'm just showing I got water. I'm sorry.
No. It's free advertising. Fuck Smart Water.
You
Fuck
hide that
Smart Water.
label.
Fuck Smart Water until they pay us.
You hide that label, damn it.
Yeah. You can get sued for that. You know that?
What? No, I can't.
Yeah, probably not.
No.
Yeah, probably. You're fine.
Seriously, Smart Water fucking sponsor us. Seriously, we can use that. We can use a sponsor.
Dude, I think we can get sponsored by Liquid Death. Have you seen that stupid ass shit?
What is that?
Yeah.
It looks like an energy drink or an alcoholic beverage, and it has like this crazy art on it, like some skull, and it's just water. It's just water.
Oh,
but it's like
it's
a
just
can.
Water?
It's just water. It's Liquid Death, and the art's it's elaborate. It's just water.
I mean, water is.
I feel like
death, it is. There is.
That's insane. That is such an insane design for water.
Liquid Death.
Is it?
Murder your thirst is their slogan.
Liquid Death.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people.
Unnecessary.
Yeah, but hey, it works, man. Because I've seen a lot of people
straight
with
from the
Liquid
Alps.
Death.
It's
from the Alps.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, all right. So it's like some good mountain
well,
water.
they're not. Listen, they're not sponsoring us either. So fuck them also.
Yeah, right.
Until they pay us.
I'm gonna message.
No,
I'm gonna message.
No, fuck them.
What?
Give us money. Necesito $1 por favor. Please give me money. Give me.
Yeah.
Give me money for nothing in return. Actually, how about that?
I need all the monies, man. I just financed a car with my shit credit, and boy, I'm gonna be paying this car for quite some time. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So I'm trying to fucking, Raid Shadow Legends, please come back. I miss you. Who else gives the most ads?
Raid Shadow Legends,
purple mattress.
Adam and Eve. We got Blue Apron. We need. I'll take
all of them niggas, man.
We can't just say all these brand names for free.
Well, no, we're saying it for free so they can hear us.
It's
so
just
they can give us more.
All of those brands, sorry, not until you pay.
I'm trying to have 5 ads in every episode. I want them to cut off in the middle of some of our jokes, in the middle of our cut ad.
Just an absolutely chaotic show. Just it's 4 hours of ads and 3 minutes of conversation.
Could you imagine how much money we'd be pulling in?
Dude.
Though?
If we do nothing because no one would watch.
People would watch it for the fucking, because we'd have to have outrageous ads at least.
I did think about a long time ago making like a video series that was exclusively like just making a 10-minute ad. Like if I got like an ad for like honey, like the whole point would be like, all right, this 10-minute video, it's all going to be honey somehow. Like I thought about doing shit like that, but I was just like, this is so difficult.
You should do a B movie.
Right.
You should do a B movie.
What
but
do you mean?
Make it at the end somehow a honey ad. Like a B movie skit, but then it turns into honey. Or do like a Ratatouille skit, and at the end it turns into fucking it turns into Blue Apron or something like that. Like just wild shit.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe we could get sponsored by the Joker sequel.
Oh,
you know,
I like this podcast is brought to you by Joker 2.
Soy Joker dos. Welcome.
Fucking Arthur's Revenge or some shit, because that's I don't know what the
sub
title's gonna be.
It's like some French. I think the script didn't they tweet out the script or something? I feel like I remember that once when Joker 2 was like trending a while back. But it had like some French ass subtitle that I didn't understand. It was like "C'est la" something, not the, that would be obvious. But it's a musical, apparently.
I'm not
It's a
excited
musical,
at all.
apparently, with Lady Gaga. I don't know how true this information is, but that's what everybody's running with.
I mean, there's been no denial.
But yesterday, I mean, Twitter said Zendaya was pregnant also. So like,
That was
That's a good
crazy.
point.
And all I was saying was, "Good job, Holland. Good job, bro. Good job."
I was like, he did it. He did it.
for the culture.
He
Fucking
did
did it. He climbed the mountain. He climbed the mountain and fucking squirted in it.
What's
Good
the
job.
the first thing I thought when I saw that was like, it's probably not true, but if it is, that's smart. That's real smart.
Yeah.
She's only gonna get better looking for like 30 years, and then she might hit a dip soon. But for like 20 years, she's just gonna get more attractive. So he's a smart guy. He's thinking way ahead. Because she's very pretty now, and she's gonna become gorgeous. She's gonna be the next Halle Berry, like in the future. She's gonna be the future Halle Berry, obviously.
Yeah, what is she? How old is she, by the
She's
way? I don't know anything about her.
24 or 5.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, mid-20s. All right, so she just full stop, nice developed. All right, so this is what we're working with. And then, yeah, she's gonna like that graceful. Yeah, Halle Berry's a fucking anomaly, isn't she? Though
She
Isn't she
is.
an anomaly?
You know, Halle
She's
Berry's
like in her
half white
50s, and she
also.
looks
People
fucking.
didn't know that.
Oh, see, well, I mean, sure, she's pretty light. I mean,
No one
she's
knew
not
that.
like-
I brought that up one time. Everybody was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "She's half white. Haven't."
Well, how could she not have any like other something in her? She's not, like my shade where you have two niggas that bang, you know what I mean? And then you become a dark milk chocolate brown, you know what I mean? And then there's anything lighter than that, there has to be some other fuckery afoot. There has to be something going on.
There has
Sweeney,
to-
you're almost purple in certain lighting.
Yeah, the red gives you a little bit of a purple
Yeah,
shade
it's
on
like
it.
a
what I
purple
do
man.
is what I purposely do is I try to get as dark as possible every time. And then when I return back to brown, I get really sad. Like when I went to Cancun, I got so black I was almost gone. And it felt great. Like if I closed my eyes, I looked like an anomaly running at you. But unfortunately, I healed again, and now I'm brown. And I don't want this. I want to be black.
When you went to Cancun, you came back looking like a Sharpie. And it was really off.
Was that those pictures where like
That
there
was
was like
the
you're on the
creature?
beach or something or or something like that?
You look like
Yeah,
a
man.
beached fucking chupacabra. The fucking
I
creepiest
look
fucking
like
image I've
I
ever
look
seen.
like a creature that's dressed like me. Like someone did this monster's makeup to look like Sweeney.
Like that fucking Men in Black. Men in
That
Black with the fucking alien. The alien
that
takes
picture
over.
is so. That picture I think is like one of. I think we used that picture for like one of the first Dark Tank thumbnails.
For sure,
But like,
absolutely.
but like
good.
that is
It's so
such a weird
good.
photo because it doesn't even look like you. It's like it's a different facial structure entirely.
I loved
like the
it.
nose is different. Everything about that's not you in that photo.
That was the peak. That was the peak of me. That was when I was at my best. I was at my blackest. I was at my least human looking. Bro, it was just a ring of
those two-
perfection.
those two things are
Those two things that you
like,
said together.
starting to sound like people.
You're at your blackest and least human looking.
I didn't look like myself at all. I go as far to say I'm a pretty decently looking guy,
What is
right?
this, Timcast?
Oh my god!
Listen, but no, hold on. Wait, but before,
yeah.
listen, there's a Joker sequel.
Right,
It's a
right.
fucking, it's a musical with Lady Gaga set to play Harley Quinn. So that's happening, I guess. Look, nobody knows if this is true. No one's come out to say this is false. And also, let me just say this. Just the most chaotic possible premise for a sequel is this. So it does make a ton of sense that it would be a Joker movie that would do this. Like, of course, but I feel like, I wonder if we're getting a little too tongue-in-cheek here. If we're getting too like, hey, Morbius 2 is called Morbin Time. It's not really, but like the fact that they like even played into that at all.
though,
and now
but-
Joker 2 is like it's like a musical, and it's probably like I feel like every sequel is trying to do like a Gremlins 2 thing now. almost, where it's like the first one was serious and now we're gonna get crazy. Like, what are you doing with a musical Joker? Like, how is that even fucking gonna work? Can Joaquin Phalanx even sing?
Most actors
Yes,
can
he
sing.
can. He can because
Most actors can sing.
he took singing lessons for half a year to play Johnny Cash. I was actually kind of interested in the Walk the Line and
that's
how
right.
Joaquin Phoenix and Reese
yeah.
Witherspoon both sang. They actually sang. They took singing lessons, and I'm like, see, people, if you actually practice and work hard, you can be half decent at stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
whatever.
It was actually kind of cool to see them.
Whatever.
But it was pretty cool to see that. So he can probably sing, and he actually, I'm not saying good.
He's gonna rap?
He can rap.
He can dance
rap.
for sure.
He can rap. He can dance.
He can actually like really dance.
He can sing, dance, and rap.
And rap. Jeez, what
That's
a
a
fucking
triple threat.
That's
What
not
a threat, dude.
Not the acting part. Not him being a renowned actor.
Hey,
no, he
you know
can
what he
sing,
should-
dance, and rap as well.
Or he can rap, dude. He's like LL Cool J. He's like on that level. When I'm alone in my room and I'm dancing on the stairs,
It's me,
Hello, cool Joker. Oh my fucking god! I looked up when I thought that, and I was just
That's
like,
perfect.
he's not gonna say that too, right?
That's perfect. It passed me
Oh
by.
my god!
I
You
heard
saved it.
I
You
heard
saved it.
I heard it immediately. I was like,
I did too, and I was like, no one would say
How
that,
did
right?
I miss that? How did I miss that?
Oh my god, dude, that's
I
disgusting.
love the idea of LL Cool Joker with the fucking bucket hat on and
with
shit.
the bucket hat and the b-boy stance.
Oh my
know,
god,
man.
he hit that one leg. Remember, he would put one of his leg pants up. LL Cool
course,
J, that was like
bro.
his thing. Yeah, so I want to see LL Cool J, LL Cool Joker, and number 2, but also dressed as Commodus from Gladiator. That's what I want.
What are you asking for?
I want like a bucket hat with old school like Caesar clothing, and then
you're asking
but
for you're asking for this horrible like Dragon Ball fusion amalgamation.
You want a
of these guys.
chimera? You want a chimera of a
I'm asking for
creature until
that
you see it.
what is it, Delali AI thing or whatever it's called.
Oh my!
I want one of those
Dolly?
things.
Dude.
Dolly, yeah, that's it. I want one of those things.
Yeah. Dude, that thing is fucking insane. That if you've been on Twitter or like on the internet at all, I'm pretty sure you've seen these fucking things. This AI that just generates photoshops based on like writing prompts that you just type into it. It's the craziest shit. There was this one where I saw like I think it was like Walter White in Lego. And it was like the most disturbing thing I've ever seen because it's him making Lego meth, but it's just him. It's so gross.
You have to block this out. Block this part out. I saw one.
Don't do it.
I'm not gonna. It's so funny. Like I saw one that I saw it and I instantly I turned off my computer and went to bed at like 9:30 because it was so fucking funny.
What was it?
I'm not gonna say it. If it's not blocked out, I know I shouldn't say it. So we'll just keep going.
How can it be that bad? How can it be that bad?
It can't be that bad.
It
can't be that much worse than...
It was a deer doing Columbine. So it was pretty much the idea of like it was the deer walking out with that camera view of like
oh my god!
Thing, and I was just like, what the someone made that and I was like, who thought of that?
I'm Googling this.
Cool.
I was like,
that's
who
so cool.
thought of that? Like, who was like
some of the ideas have been so good. Some of the ideas have been so good,
there's so many unbelievable ones. It's just a deer standing up, walking out with that camera view of the guy when he was holding the gun. And I was just like, this is powerful. Who thought of this?
You know what? I'm gonna say something here. This is completely non sequitur, but I saw it on Twitter. It is really weird that like Tekken has like a bear that you can play as, but King is just a guy in a mask.
But King Roar is like a real creature.
That's what I mean.
That's what scares me so much about King.
Like when I was a kid, I really thought like he was like a half tiger, half man, you know? even in that cutscene where he takes the mask off, because I was like, maybe it's like a slightly uglier tiger under there, you know. But
that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life, Chris.
Kingston, it is objectively more fun to believe that King is a half man, half tiger than he is a man who just roars like a tiger through a mask.
Chris, I understand. But you thinking that there's an uglier tiger under there after they took it off is stupid.
Awesome.
So dumb.
I didn't actually. I just thought he was a tiger, man. I was just like, I don't know why.
I thought he was for a long time as well.
I think he's like an actual. I think he's a leopard, though, isn't he?
No, it's a leopard. Yeah.
Oh well, well, fucking whatever.
Armored King is a tiger.
I'm not trying to be like super. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure.
He's a leopard. And he's a fighter, but he roars like an actual like his voice is soundboards of lions and tigers and shit.
That's what scares me because he's like
this is burned into my memory. Sometimes when he wins, he does a specific roar, and sometimes when I do something triumphant or like I beat something really, that was hard.
Don't say that you roar like King.
I don't. It comes in my head though. Like he'll be like he just goes like this, like he'll do like a thumbs down or some shit to you.
Oh, I know exactly what you're
talking about. It sounds like that. He like
it's like he does this specific, and like he almost sounds. One of the roars almost sounds like a dog. Like it's almost like barking. Like usually when he starts off with that like weird thing where he twists around and then like suplexes you, it almost sounds like it's such a weird soundboard. But I was so fascinated with it to where I learned the combos to just. It'll just kill you. It's like a little one shot. You chain it all together.
His constant fucking suplexes that are bullshit.
I remember most of the combinations. I remember most of it, but I kind of forgot towards the end where you do the last two and the swing, and then you just die. But that's all. It's such a weird. But I do like the idea of that. Yeah, he takes off the mask, and then there is just a slimmer, not as good looking cat creature.
just a slightly less aesthetically pleasing tiger.
No, it's a very accurate tiger, actually, like crazy accurate, like photorealistic.
Like more photorealistic than his mask is?
Yeah. And he wears that to calm people down. He's like, roar, 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 roar.
How amazing would that have been if Tekken put all of their budget into like photorealistic. He takes his mask off and then it like costs millions of dollars just to render his fucking face where it just looks like a real fucking tiger.
They make
like,
no profit every game because of how much they have to put into making his face. They make the most profit they made was $25 because of how much they put into fucking King's face.
Let's go, guys. We can get 2 for $5.99, 2 medium 2 topping pizzas with our profit. Let's fucking go.
They drive themselves into fucking bankruptcy
because the lead designer
it's undisputed the best looking model that has ever been.
Like they did it in the 90s. They did the 90s and it looks better than anything. It looks better than Quarry. It looks better than anything. Baldur's anything.
It looks better than Thanos and fucking Davy Jones.
And you're just like, yo, how did you do this?
How did you do this?
And it's like,
dude, how did you do this and get it running on a PlayStation? Like, how did you fucking do this,
bro? A lot of money, a lot of time. A lot of people died at their desks, man. A lot of people passed away at their desks.
We would have people sitting on the dead people. Like we wouldn't even take them out of their chair. We'd have somebody, so it's okay, this person died in this chair. Sit in his lap and finish his work.
Hurry up.
Sit in his lap.
They have to start stacking the bodies under the computers too because there's too many bodies on the chairs. So now the ratio is off.
So he's too high. So then the desk has to.
So they get
put the bodies under the fucking monitors.
People are dying left and right.
It's just
sleep,
pillars.
It's just eat.
It's just pillars of bodies and death. It looks like human versions of like those rock formations in the Saiyan Saga, where they're all like standing on those pillars.
Just the rocks that are stacked on top. Dude, you know what's crazy? I went to Joshua Tree and I actually saw those.
Yeah, they're real. Jalen and I saw them when we were driving through New Mexico when we were driving to LA for the first time.
When like you go to a place like very wind blown and you could see like the wind destroying rocks. That's the most disgusting thing ever. The idea that like wind will eventually erode. Rocks are pussy because eventually wind beats them up. You know, it's like, damn, bro, you got beat up by the wind.
It's all about endurance, man.
The rocks endure better than like people would if you held a person up out there for like a few months. He'd be missing.
It's crazy how rocks will erode in the wind, but people are fine. You know?
Yeah, definitely, totally.
It makes no
People
sense.
don't erode in the people don't erode in the wind.
Yeah, the wind doesn't
Hurricanes
bother me.
or tornadoes don't do shit to people.
Well, that doesn't erode you. That just picks you up and bashes you against a shed or like a McDonald's
It
or
picks
something.
you up and it flings you into an auto zone.
Into an auto zone.
You just end up in an auto zone.
What if there was a phenomenon that literally every single person that's been sucked into a tornado has landed in an auto zone?
Every person that's lived has made it to an auto zone. So you got to aim for auto zone. Like
what kind of research would you have to do? What would that like to be like? What is the connection?
That reminds me of the Waffle House Index. Do you know what that is?
What is that? Wait, what is that?
This is very real. It's apparently like a tool that people use to figure out like how bad weather conditions are going to be, and they base it off of whether or not a certain percentage of Waffle Houses stay open.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So like this is real. Like you could look it up. It's like actually like a genuine metric that I think meteorologists and other like important people use to determine how severe a storm is going to be. It's like if the Waffle House is closed, run. Because it's a big deal. It's a big storm headed your way.
Have you ever been to Waffle House, Derek?
If it's like medium capacity, then it's like it's probably okay, but you should stay inside. And if it's like if it's operating as normal, then like there's nothing to worry about.
Because have you ever been to Waffle House before?
Recently, actually, for the first time.
Oh my
like I went
God.
in
in Florida.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was in Florida for the Creator Clash, and I went to. There's like a picture of me in front. Dude, those things are so small.
What?
Wait,
Yes, they are.
Oh no, dude, I went to large ones.
Was there a confrontation?
What?
Was there a confrontation within? Did you see anything that made you nervous within the Waffle House?
No, but everything outside of it worried me.
Oh, okay. That's interesting because from my experience, more times than not, something happens.
Something goes on, bro.
You
got to go to Waffle House on Sunday.
Waffle House?
You got to go on Sunday afternoon, and if let's say if you're a person that likes seeing
Actually,
chaos,
I think that is. Wait, hold on. I think that is literally when we went. Was Sunday afternoon.
if you like seeing chaos and like disorder, if you have a thrill, like if you want to go skydiving but you don't got the money to go skydiving, go to a Waffle House after church and just stand in there, and you'll get enough thrill to last you a lifetime. Because I
didn't see anything. It was actually super nice. Like everybody there was like really chill. Like the waitress like took like a photo with us and everything. Like it was like a really nice experience. But there was one guy in the far corner shaking. So like I don't know what his story was, but
he was about to blow. You just missed it.
We
just missed it.
He was holding that concealed gun, and he was just like.
He's just like, when I see him, he doesn't know who, but when he sees him, he's just going to go off.
When I see him, he's going to get it. When I see
That's so fucked because it's probably just he has like some association with some specific type of face structure that he recognized from when he was like a kid. So he's like, oh man, like I've seen this guy in a movie and I didn't like him in that movie. So I'm like, he looks kind of like him. I'm gonna nail him down.
It's like, you remember, this is like an old episode where some guy was like, he heard the N-word, but only at like really bad times. So when he was in the theater as a little kid, when he saw Syndrome on stage, he screamed the N-word at him.
Oh yeah, what was that?
Funny.
Was that somebody who wrote it?
Yeah, imagine that. Like a little, he just stands up and calls him, and you're just like.
I can't imagine seeing The Incredibles in like 2004, 2005 in theaters before cell phones, before the internet, just like expecting a normal, like completely non-subversive experience going to the movies, and then having a child scream the N-word at Syndrome.
Oh my god,
that is crazy.
That's so funny.
I feel like now we almost expect these types of things because we see videos go viral every now and again of like some freak making like a big stink in like a movie theater or like some like nonsense like that. But like I feel like before in like heavy internet time, like you just sort of genuinely went out expecting a normal day.
I expect a normal day every day.
Now I don't.
I
really.
always expect a normal day because there was one time I went to the movie theater by the Batman statue near where we used to live. And some guy was offering some guy something. He was like, "Get away from me." He was like, "I'm just trying to give you this, please." And he's like, "Get away from me, get away from me." And me and my girlfriend just walking up the steps while it was happening. And the guy was like, "Please take this from me, take this." And he was like, "Stay away from me, stay away from me." And I was like, what the fuck happened? But then I realized how jaded I was because when I was younger, I wouldn't have walked near them. I would have got away from them, but I walked the right, like I was like front instead of the guy walked past me. And I was like, "Oh, what's going on here?"
Whatever.
He's saying, "Get away from me." I wonder what's going on.
There's something really funny about seeing an adult tell another adult to get away from them.
He was like, "Get away from me, get away from me." It was so fucking weird.
What the fuck happened? That's so
I just
weird.
want to know, man.
You should have asked.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, excuse me, what's
Hey,
happening?
what's going on here?
Just interject. Excuse me, what exactly is happening right now?
Just initiate a side quest. Oh my god.
Oh man,
I've seen a quest in action before when I was I just got out of like a Clippers game, and then so everybody's piling out and shit, and there was these two people sprinting, like a guy was running after, and I was like, what the I've never seen that before. I've seen people like run a little bit, but I'm talking about as fast as humanly possible sprinting. And I was like, that guy did something, and that guy's trying to kill him. And I wanted to know what because there was like a line, like what were you talking about, cheetah trying to get a fucking gazelle or something. It was that fast, and I was like, dude, I've never seen that much like. Someone, if you're running that fast, you know you're gonna fucking die. Like there's
if you're running that fast, you're running to survive. At that speed, you're running to get to safety. Like I gotta get safe, and this guy's not safe.
There's like a special. There's like a Goldilocks area in like the sprinting speed of a person where it's like, okay, you're running. You're not at risk of falling or causing yourself like a little bit of harm. You know, like you're running, and then there's like. I'm running for my life, so I clearly can't safely stop.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But I'll worry about that later.
That's exactly what that was. That's exactly.
The idea of running because you know when you're like, you know, like right now, like I probably can't run as fast as I normally could. But if I was in danger, I could probably fucking cook it. And the point of, I love seeing people that get so scared, they unlock the ability to run fast again when they didn't know they had it anymore.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, something's happening. And this like dude, this like big 400-pound dude stands up and torpedoes away. And you're like, oh, I didn't know Al was still fast.
What really blows my mind is how much it takes for certain people. Like, I've definitely seen videos, like, I can't be the most physically healthy person, but I can run. Like, I is fast. You know? So when I see, like, there's that video, this famous video, I'm sure you've seen it, Kingston, because it's something that you would laugh at, but it's this guy getting dragged away by a lion. Do you remember?
Yes, in the zoo.
Ever seen that video where he's like in the zoo, he's like in the little thing, and then he sees the lion coming towards him, and he runs away, but he like scampers like a Teletubby.
Well,
and I'm like, bro,
the thing is,
sprint.
The thing is that you can't.
What are you doing? It's a lion.
You can't sprint at that moment, Chris. There's no.
Yeah, you
Chris.
can.
There's no. Look. Once you're in that spot. Like, it's like certain encounters that like, oh man, I saved before this, and now I have to fight this guy. It's like one of those encounters where like, it's too late. When a lion can see you, and there's nothing blocking the two of you anymore, you can't get away.
No, but the thing is, it's like, there wasn't even an attempt. Like, what do you gain from not attempting? You know what I mean?
Point.
Like, and also, like, the lion wasn't even sprinting. It was just like sort of like sauntering up to him, and then it just grabbed him. He could have got away, I think.
Yanked him up, fucking grabbed him with his paw and threw him at a wall.
It was the most pathetic little scamper. It was like a fucking like Pixar like Like
It's
I don't
like
even
one of
know.
those Minions or something. So it's like one
Yeah,
of those
it's like
bullshit-
it's like when a toy in Toy Story that doesn't have joints walks.
Oh my
fucking
god.
Woody just like
No fucking Woody, dude. Woody was booking it, man. Woody was
That's true.
Woody was sprinting every
Woody has-
time he was on camera.
Woody has joints though.
No, he doesn't. He's all fucking soft. That's why when he runs, his arms go bananas.
No, but like what I mean is like he's not like a solid piece of plastic.
I know
you
what
know
you
what I
mean.
mean?
He has bending points. He doesn't.
Yeah. The animation of Woody running is still like a really fantastic animation.
so
like,
funny.
It's pretty good.
Like it's
pretty
so.
good.
So
I
funny.
wish I could move that way.
He looks
like,
like
if I
Ezra
could-
Miller. Like,
Dude, we have to talk about that. I completely forgot. Didn't he
it
kidnap
just
someone?
popped in my
Did
head
he
right
kidnap
now.
somebody?
Yeah.
He's graduated to full blown villain. He graduated from the academy, and they're like,
He's
"Good job,
so-
you're officially in the Legion of Doom. Now go kidnap a 18-year-old.
He's
Kidnap
so,
a teenager."
He's so rambunctious. Like that's the nicest way to put his behavior. He just doesn't behave. He's that kid in your school that's playing with a fucking lighter. And you're like, hey dude, maybe you shouldn't play with that. And he's like, fuck you.
Yeah, it
Where are we
literally
going
like,
to eat? Where are we going to eat? And it's like, dude, I don't know about the lighter, man. Like we're in a place with a lot of farmland. Like you probably should have a lighter. He's like, nah, man. When something cool and throws it into a hay bale. He throws a hay bale and watches.
We all knew somebody at school that was like that.
There was always that
We
one
all
kid
went to school with somebody like that. Yeah, they had that one kid.
that was just like,
But
I
he's-
remember in Catholic school there was a kid who he self-immolated. It's pretty crazy.
What?
like set himself on
What?
fire.
Yeah. He was like sitting there like this. He was like levitating.
He was
Okay.
He focused.
I was like,
could
what?
you imagine you're focusing and you get to like a good point where you're levitating, but you focus a little bit too much more, you set on fire.
And just spontaneously combust.
And
How
it's like,
is
no, I overfocused.
No, but so Ezra Miller, this is real. He stole a person.
Oh my god.
I don't know what something's going on with this character, man. Like I don't know what the hell's going on, but his brain is, I don't know if it's running low on storage or what, but it's not operating at full capacity. There's something seriously wrong with
I
this
just think he
with this person.
literally wants to be a villain. I just think
he's bored. I think he's just bored. I think he's bored, and he's like, you know what? I want to fuck something up. Like Ezra Miller shouldn't be famous. He's the kind of guy he just wants to go around doing bad. What's going on is doing not good. And the fact that he's famous, everybody's looking at him do it. But if you probably go back in his life, he's the kind of guy that probably had like, he probably was hanging out with Michael Vick during the dog fights and shit like that. Like, he's not one of those kind of motherfuckers. But he was just always involved in something not good. But it's fun. Like, he's having the time of his life. Like, if you saw him during that time when he's beating people up in Hawaii, you'd be like, that's a person that's happy. He's happy right now.
You know what's crazy?
He's happy.
That whole thing with Michael Vick, that is the only reason I know who that is. I do not know.
True.
I don't know who Michael Vick is. I don't know what he does. I don't know if he's an athlete. I don't know like what the situation is. All I know is that he got dogs to fight each other in a fucking battle royale.
No,
in
well,
basements.
what makes it crazy is that, well, obviously, the main thing was a lot of people hated Michael Vick because of the fact that, like, he was wrong. He shouldn't have done that. But what made it worse is that he was the most paid athlete in the NFL at that time. He was.
Oh, he's a football player?
He was.
Yeah, he was a quarterback.
He was a quarterback or running back. I don't remember which one.
He was quarterback.
He was a quarterback. But he was the most paid at that time. He was literally like a Hall of Fame level, like good. Like he was amazing.
Well, yeah, he was an anomaly because of how fast he was.
Yeah.
He was so insanely fast that sometimes he would have more touchdowns than like running backs themselves.
Like
because he could just run it in.
Like his second year, he had more running yards than his running back, which is something that doesn't happen with a quarterback. Quarterbacks throw the ball. That's all they do.
So you know when you're on top of the world and you're just bored, like I think that's what happened to him. He was just like, you know what, dude, like
let's have
I
some
have
dogs
everything going for me.
beat
I have so much money. I am better than like everybody in my league. let's
I'm gonna-
kill some dogs.
And let me make
dogs.
some
these
dogs better than everybody else in their league too.
adorable. I just don't understand how people have the capacity to do that. Like, I look at pit bulls and they look so adorable to me. Like, they don't look like killers to me. I don't know. When I see pit bulls, they don't look like. I think Rottweilers are the only animals that, like dogs, that look. I'm a little bit wary, where I'm like, that thing looks like, That's probably the only dog.
You know what's crazy?
That looks a little bit.
Pit bulls don't look like. I saw so many scary pit bulls growing up because I lived in New York City, of course, and there's a bunch of people that had
pit bulls,
fucked up pit bulls. And
it's pit bull city over there,
dude. Puerto Rican and Dominican people have pit bulls, bro. That's a thing. They just have them. And like I remember my cousin got a pit bull
because it's harder to register for a gun.
Yeah,
so you just get a fucking pit bull.
You just get a pit bull.
So I remember,
I mean, niggas too, man. Niggas in the hood, they have pit bulls. They get pit bulls.
I remember my cousin got a pit bull because they were like, "Oh, we're gonna raise her to be like a fucking guard dog and all that shit." Obviously, the wrong reasons to get a pet. You know, supposed to get a pet that love it. And I remember when it first got there, it was a little blue-nosed pit bull, and it walked up to me, and I was scared because I was like, it was small, so I was more comfortable being around it. It walked up to me, and it just laid on my lap and fell asleep, and I was like, holy shit. Now that I'm seeing this dog without a 5-year-old in its mouth, this dog is actually one of the cutest things on the planet. They're so cute, dude. Pit bulls are so cute. And if they're raised right, they're so loving, dude.
Well, that's literally every dog ever. That's literally every dog.
True.
Dogs are domesticated.
Well, no, some dogs are fucked.
No, some dogs. No, it's usually just the individual. Like we had a dog that had mental health issues and it seemed like it had some type of amnesia type of thing. It was fucked up. Like it couldn't really remember people. Sometimes it would get frightened or like scared. It would be around you like, oh, cool, and then like, it could be the next day and be like, who the fuck are you? It was like there was something wrong with that dog. But like it's the individual, because like I've never been around a dog. All the ferocious ones, Rottweilers, pit bulls, all the ones that people are usually scared of, German shepherds. All sweethearts, because all the people I'm around, they're decent human beings, so they don't raise them.
I've definitely been more afraid of like Chihuahuas than I have been of like full-on pit bulls and like Rottweilers.
Think about the type of people who get Chihuahuas. They're fucking assholes. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Like,
well, the thing is, it's like, well, it's just when they're angry, they're so fast and small, and you ever see like the small dogs, the way that they don't have the mass
to deal with how mad they
don't
are.
have the mass to slow them down. Like you can really a pit bull, you can like there's a lot of telegraphing there because there's a lot of weight for it to manage. The speed at which a small dog can shake its head is fucking borderline terrifying. Like you don't know, like it's just like knives flailing around in every which way. It's not like a solid like bite from like
I've definitely seen people get, because one of there was just some dude in the Bronx obviously that shouldn't have had this dog, but he had an Alaskan Malamute and some sort of Saint Bernard mix, and weird. He would walk it late at night because of how big it was. So big it was horrifying. It was like the dog from Sandlot, and a big ass monster dog from Sandlot. Yeah, and I remember I was going home really late because I was doing something stupid. I was out with my friends for some reason that I should have been. I was only like maybe 11 or 12 years old. And I was going home and I saw the dog get loose from him and attack some guy. And it was a mess. That guy was wounded. He couldn't get the dog off. The dog was at least like pushing like maybe 270, and they could not get that dog off. And that's all insane. I did was see it and run away. I didn't call the police. I didn't call anybody. I was like, if I get involved, I'm gonna die too. And then the next week he was like, yeah, I had to put the dog down. It ate half some guy's face. And I was just like,
yeah, I guess so.
Damn, dude. Don't have dogs. Because people don't socialize. You need to socialize dogs. That's the biggest thing for them. You have to socialize them and get them used to being around people. And that's
but
They'll be
dogs
fine.
also, they take out dogs off because you don't even have to really do that. Dogs
you have
take
to,
after.
dude.
The dogs, no, that's not. Because like, there's people that are just, I live by myself in an apartment, and then I'm not a piece of trash, and I'm just chill. My dog's feeding off my energy. It sees another person. Typically, how I react to other people is how the dog's going to react to other people. Do I hate people? my dog's gonna fucking hate people. Am I friendly to my dog's gonna be? Your dog feeds off your energy. So if your dog has the potential to be a killer, and if you're a piece of trash, your dog's gonna be a fucking killer. Or you can have a fucking pit bull or a Rottweiler, and they'll become the biggest. My friend's German Shepherd Kimbo is the biggest pussy alive. People would be afraid to like pet him. They'd be like, "Oh shit." Kimbo would run under your legs. Like, oh my God, a person. He's like, I'm not sure about this shit. And I'm like, dude, you'll eat any of them. Like, what are you doing? But that's just that.
They're not. I think people treat big dogs like they're fucking coyotes.
Oh yeah, they're monsters. Like, they're not. They're dogs. Dogs by nature love people. That's like part of their build.
Not coyotes.
No, dogs. Yeah, well, not coyotes. Dogs.
Yeah,
regular
coyotes are so like I was in L.A. when I first heard coyotes for the first time, when they were like. I heard them, like, I was, like, walking around late at night at, like, 3 a.m., and I was like, I might die today, whatever. But, like, there was, like, a bunch of coyotes in, like, a bush, and...
They were laughing.
It sounds like... They sound like babies really fighting, is the best way that I could describe what I heard that night. It was like babies engaged in really intense
Mortal
combat. Yeah, like, it was, like, crying and laughing at the same time with, like... You know, like you could hear like the voices like moving like rapidly, like it was just so gross.
They're fucking weird.
hate coyotes.
You know what's crazy? You can have coyotes as pets and they'll be fine. Same with foxes. You can have them as pets, and I'm like,
you can domesticate most of those things.
And it's like,
you can domesticate them to a degree, yeah.
You know, people have pet wolves, and I wouldn't
fuck.
They're
with
just
that.
stupid. Like it's just like you can domesticate. Like there's people that have bears their entire lives and shit like that. It's possible, absolutely, but it's just also if you slip up, their instincts can kick in and they'll eat your face. You know what I mean? And it's like
and
it'll be sad afterwards too. If you face and be like, God damn, man, that was my friend. Fuck.
It's so. That's the thing. It's like it's not. You could do it, but it's not really worth. Like, even if you're really good at something, there's like a general risk reward thing that you have to take into consideration. Think about how many times you've like bitten your tongue or like nicked the side of your cheek while eating something.
Yeah,
despite the fact that you have a lot of experience eating and speaking. Now imagine that, like, instead of nicking your tongue a little bit, you react to your pet bear wrong and it kills you. You know, like that's
so
if I died
crazy.
if I was in a life or death situation as many times as I've nicked my tongue, Jesus Christ. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't like people don't respect the fact that some animals are wild animals and they deserve their own peace. Like,
did you hear about
like there's a video of this guy high-fiving a bear and the bear grabs his hand and it's like, well, you don't deserve that hand anymore.
Did you hear about that chick? This was recently. I think they were bison or something. It was something recently that this woman was like, I want to go pet the bison or something. It was something like that. And it fucking threw her like 100 feet, like, or something. She got fucking hit so hard that she flew because it's a wild giant like 2-ton animal or something.
It's a fucking bison.
Like, why would you? And there's people doing that shit with moose too. Moose are the biggest fucking thing. Like moose, I don't care how domesticated a moose would be, it would terrify me because I feel the same way when I see a giant horse. Like when I'm close to a giant horse, I feel it's so intimidating. Even though they're like, "You can ride me," and I'm like, "No, please." I'm so scared. Here's my
unbelievably domesticated.
Take my money, horse. You can have my wallet.
Mooses, whatever. Those things are fucking scary big. Like, I did not realize they were as big as they were until I saw there's this famous video. I'm sure if you like Google moose, it's there. It's like one of the first images you see.
Is it running through the street? It's walking through the street.
It's walking in the middle of a street next to cars, and it's like a fucking AT-AT. It is so damn tall, but only in its legs.
They're big.
And you're like, what the fuck is this creature?
Big,
this is scary. A moose is so big that you could run into it with your car, probably like smash its legs out from under it, and then the moose would just fall on top of your car like a fucking anvil. Like they're
Absolutely
so
crush
tall,
your car.
Huge.
stupid.
They're really big and they're fucking scary looking.
Yeah, and they're ornery. They'll fuck you up. Like if you get too,
They're horny?
Yes, they're
Ornery.
horny. They're horny and ornery. They're both.
Ornery.
They'll be angry that your pussy isn't that good, and they'll
kill
fuck you
you.
harder.
It'll kill you.
They'll kill you. They'll kill you after
Your
they're like,
pussy's
this
so
is bad.
fucking
this was,
bad.
This was bad pussy.
Stomps you to
Stomp your face.
That is so scary. Every picture of a moose I see is horrifying. Like it's just
Bro, I saw there was
dread.
a video I was watching when
menacing.
I was streaming a few days ago of this motherfucker, Russian, of course they're Russian because they don't get afraid right. They don't get like, I think if a Russian feels fear, they die. I think that they can't, like once a Russian's scared, they're like, my God, this one felt fear. We got to get him out of here, get him out of the gene pool. But there was this image of these Russians feeding a polar bear. And I'm like, what on earth
Oh, that is insane.
are you doing?
Yeah, no thank you.
Yeah, polar bears are no
Polar
joke
bears
at all.
are literally nightmares incarnate, bro. They are
Well, yeah, because-
horrifying.
Aren't they literally the strongest bear? I'm pretty
They're
sure.
the biggest,
right?
Well,
they're the biggest bear.
They have to be because of their climate. They don't have any vegetation or fucking to eat, so it's all fucking just carnivorous. So they have to be strong to break ice. They have to be able to, just ravage fucking seals.
They gotta be able to
anytime they
swim.
see a
It's
human,
insane.
they're like, sweet, look at that, whatever kind of meat. And there's horrible videos and testimony of people getting their homies snatched. And the fucked up thing about bears is they don't typically kill their prey before they eat it. They'll just start eating it.
Yeah, they don't.
So
They
they'll
don't
fucking
murder things. They
They'll
just
smack
eat
you
it.
down,
It's insane.
and then just start taking bites out of you, and it's like, bro.
There was this video. There was this video of this guy talking about how they went on like an ice fishing trip or something like that, and they got onto their boat started fucking up, so they got onto a shelf of ice, and like 100 meters away they saw a bear, and the bear went inside the water, came up with another sheet of ice, then went inside the water, came up with another sheet of ice, and they kept doing that till it got close and just grabbed one of their friends, and it went to the ice sheet that was like unironically 20 feet away, stared at them and ate their friend. The only reason why it didn't eat them is because people finally came and scared it off. It literally was eating their friend and looking up at them afterwards.
I wonder where it started. Like started at like
probably the
hand. It was
probably
like,
the midsection.
Like an hors d'oeuvre. It just started out like a chicken wing.
It's just so
Respect animals.
down there.
People,
what are you doing down there?
People respect animals.
And I agree.
Respect them.
What are you doing?
Respect animals.
What are you doing? What are you doing down there as a person? Like, I understand that that's like a tragic story, very sad. You know,
You don't care. You don't give a fuck.
If you
don't care.
No, I mean, like if you came to me, right? If you came to me, it's like and you told me this story about something that you've been through, like, oh man, that's really rough and crazy. But also, what the fuck were you doing? There's no reason to be in the fucking South North Pole, wherever the fuck you are, Antarctica, fucking deep Alaska, where the fucking Wendigos live. Like, I don't know why you're in this place that nature itself is trying to tell you don't belong. Oh, being out here without 15 layers of heated silk and wool hurts. Maybe leave. That's a good sign. It's like everybody who's like, oh man, like, isn't it crazy how, like, this is a discussion I got into recently where it's like, oh, isn't it crazy how, like, planet Earth is, like, so perfect for human life? And it's like, the sun gives you cancer.
Literally, it's not.
Dumbest thing.
You have to put sunscreen. You have to put sunscreen on to stay outside.
It's almost so obvious that humans are alien to this planet that it's insane. Like, gravity literally hurts us. Like, gravity literally hurts us. We can't swim in the ocean.
That person is a religious person. I'm assuming.
It's a woman.
Is spiritual.
It's a woman, right? It's a woman, right? It's a woman. It's a woman, right? It's a woman, right? It's a woman. Tell the truth. It's a woman. It's a woman, right? Is it a woman, Chris? It's a woman. It's a woman. It's a woman. Of course.
Obviously, it's a woman. Of course. Obviously,
of course, it's a woman. Of course.
No man thinks they're lucky here.
You know, like, you're stuck
Jesus
with
Christ.
women.
Can you imagine like this, some guy coming back from the woods? He's got chunks spitting out of him by a bear, and he comes, we're so lucky to live on this planet.
Wow, it has been perfectly designed for us, and it's because it's the same thing when I hear about like
perfectly designed for us. His eyes.
When you hear about like
his
intelligent,
eye is touching his lips.
He's licking his tongue. He's licking his eyeball as he speaks, bro. That's how fucking low it's hanging.
That's what you always hear those people intelligent design are like, oh yeah, we're designed so perfectly, and I'm like, all right, dude. Okay, next time, take a sip of water, and when you choke on it, you know, like tell me how perfect of a design it is to have fucking where your fucking breathing tube is just and where you eat and drink shares the same fucking pathway where it's so easy to choke and die. I'm like isn't that a design, like a major design flaw that a lot of people die that way?
There's so much like think of it like this: half of the day we can't see things. The fact that we have blind spots naturally. We have blind spots in the areas in which we see. It's not even like behind us where it would make sense. Simply in the radius of our sight, there's a spot that we can't detect that there's things there. Crazy. Like we are so not perfectly made for this. We're pretty well adapted. Most creatures are well adapted.
Yeah,
but most of the planet is water and we can't breathe in it. Humans as swimmers are so slow, it's embarrassing. Like, I think a doggy paddling dog might be able to outswim a human. That is ridiculous. That is so
stupid. Do you think so?
Stupid.
I don't know. Dogs are pretty slow in water.
I would say maybe the average swimmer, not an Olympic swimmer.
Yeah, because they do like dolphin type shit.
They jump in the water and they just glide on it.
They do that fucking Fortnite animation where they jump in and out. But I think
Fortnite. You can't say Fortnite. You can't say Fortnite
and
not say Fortnite in that way. You have to always say Fortnite.
We love Fortnite. We love Fortnite. We love
Fortnite. You always have to say it like that.
Fortnite.
Yeah.
I think anyway. The main takeaway from this, I guess, is that Joker 2 is probably going to be okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's probably going to outperform the first one.
That's what we were talking about when we got here. I don't know how we got here. But
animals and bears and shit.
Yeah. Should we touch on this Bill C-11 thing? Because I'm not actually sure what the situation is. Like, because I've only heard a little bit about it, and I'm not sure I fully grasp it. It's like this Canadian bill that they're passing,
right? Do we even have any Canadian listeners?
Like, it's Canadians, you know, like, I don't care.
It's a big deal.
To them, I don't give a fuck.
I don't know. It is pretty crazy based on what little I know about it.
All that's gonna happen. This shit's gonna happen, and then Trudeau's gonna dress as a black man again. Everybody's gonna be like, "Damn, bro, stop doing that."
So what is Bill C-11 gives Trudeau the access to fully be in blackface at all times?
He can say the N-word. He can say the N-word while he's in blackface now.
Okay.
Now he can.
Can you imagine passing legislation that says it's okay for Justin Trudeau to say the N-word?
That would be fucking awesome. I'd probably move to Canada and
But he never uses
him.
it.
No, he uses it all the time. He abuses it.
You're the worst improv partner ever.
I like the
worst improv partner ever. It's just
I like the idea of him just putting it. No, it's better if he just has it in his back pocket and he never uses it. What is the point of passing this thing if he doesn't use it?
Because you gotta assume where he's using it. You gotta find where is he? If he passed it, he has to want to use it, right?
But he wants to use it, but he has to make sure that it still has a meaning. So he keeps it it's like when somebody says, it's like if you know somebody who just curses all the time, like whenever they curse, it loses all meaning. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, that's just how that person curses. But Justin Trudeau's like, I'm gonna whip this out, when I'm waiting in line for too long, or my lemonade is taking too long in the kitchen. or oh man, they gave me the wrong omelet. You know, like things like that.
He's just.
Or what do you think? Like,
wait.
what do you think? He's waiting, but he's waiting for like, say, the next time the U.S. has another school shooting, and then he's gonna comment on it, and then just in passing, he's just gonna be like, "Nigga, this has to stop," and that's just that. That's just it. He just so quickly. Damn, nigga, like this is a little bit too much. And that's it. Like, he says it so nonchalantly at a very serious issue. This is like, but it hits home though, because like, damn, that he dropped an M-bomb, man. He means business. And then people would be all mad, but then he'd whip out the Bill C-11 and be like, excuse me,
I can say this.
We've been over this. We've been over this.
Now
nigga.
please get out of my face before I harm you.
Excuse me, nigga. We've been over this. Bill C. nigga says.
He just says the hard R right at you, and he walks past you. He shoves past you.
Bill C-12 is when I don't understand this. Is it actually Bill C-11 or 10? Which one is this?
11,
what is
I
this?
think.
So this is I'm reading it right now. So Bill C-11. I'm reading this.
So go ahead and read it. I was just gonna say I don't understand how their bills work, because all them years ago we were talking about Bill C-16. Like, what's going on? Like, with how did they have a Bill C-16 and then now there's this Bill C-11? Did this bill already exist and then they're amending it? I don't understand this shit at all.
I don't know. I don't know if like these numbers are necessarily like in order. I think they're just like kind of like serial numbers almost. But
I guess so.
But like I think so. What I'm seeing right now, this is gonna be like the kind of bland part of the show. But bear with me. This is like somewhat important. But on November 22nd last year, the federal government in Canada introduced Bill C-11, the Online Streaming Act, in the House of Commons. Its goal is to allow the CRTC, not sure what that is. I think that's like Canadian Regulation Trade Commission or something like that. I don't know, something like that.
Critical race theory cunts.
Yeah. to regulate online streaming services, the Netflixes and Disneys of the world, as well as platforms like YouTube and Spotify. So basically, it opens up YouTube to government regulation, which is not specifically a problem for YouTube, but like if it affects specifically independent creators on that platform, that's a massive fucking deal. And I don't know, it's just I encourage everybody who cares about this to kind of like look into it. I know Mudahar did a pretty good video on it. I haven't finished it.
Oh yeah, he's from that godforsaken country, right?
Yeah, he's a Canadian.
Yeah.
Would you consider Canada godforsaken or just God ignored?
That's what that means, right?
Because godforsaken means that like forsaken means he's given up on you, but like God is kind of like he hears Canada and he's like, shut up. Go massacre more natives. Shut up.
I feel
just
like
be quiet.
I feel like he definitely ignores Montreal. That's for sure. But he heard Toronto because he gave them a dub.
Yeah,
He gave them a dub. They got a championship. They got an NBA championship. So he was like, you know what, I got you.
They got a championship and Drake, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good for them.
Yeah, they did have Drake, which I feel like that's more of a. I don't know, man. I'm conflicted about Drake. I feel like he might be considered in the long run more of a blight than anything.
He'll be a blight to music, but he won't be a blight for fucking Toronto. I think he's helping Toronto out. But I think in general, especially rap music, he's definitely done damage to it. Period.
Oh man, what else?
Done a lot of damage to Millie Bobby Brown too, if you know what I mean.
Oh man,
yeah,
that's concerningly possible.
Well, at least she's legal. So at least it's legal.
We didn't mention this.
Gross.
Oh, we did, but like the episode died. Morbius, they put Morbius back in theaters and it bombed again. So like, just wanted to address that. That's awesome. I love that happened. But
I want to work for their team. I want to work for the team. Whoever gave them information that said that was going to do well, I want that job, because clearly it's just a random person. It's not someone who knows how to do actual marketing research, because there's no way in hell that ever should have happened.
We were Morbius as a concept was getting DP'd, and they were like, you know what? Keep him out there for a few more rounds. He's got it.
But like, it's like, hey, this is getting popular after it's been digitally downloaded and distributed and streamed on Twitch and made memes. Let's bring it back in theaters. It would have been like, hey, marketing would show that it's going to make zero money because nobody gave a fuck about it when it was in theaters. Yeah, right? And then they would be like, oh, yeah, you're right. So whoever said that to them is probably this guy that's 78 years old, doesn't understand anything, and he's still using a fucking typewriter somehow to calculate shit. And he's just like,
He's using a typewriter to calculate.
Shing. And see, according to E equals MC squared, I think Morbius actually could make us a few more million, and then it made $85,000.
I don't know
And
how
that guy is now
Morbius.
being beaten and tortured in it was does Sony have torture chambers? I think the Japanese would do something like that. They have probably torture chambers in their executive offices.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah, in some form or another.
That's why
So he's being
artist
punished
dies
now.
so much.
He's being punished. So the job should be open. Sony, reach out. I got you on marketing. I'll make sure you don't lose so much money in Morbius 2.
Yeah. All right.
It's more
You guys want to get into questions?
Let's go
Let's
for
do
it.
Love it.
Let's get into some questions. We're going to cover some of the questions that we got to in the episode that got fucking yeeted into the sun. We're gonna do this a little bit rapid fire because we have other questions to get to. So, let's just start up. Obi Won't You Blow Me wrote and he says, "Hey guys, what is an actual verifiable fact that you could easily be convinced was myth if you didn't know it to be true? An example I would choose is the fact that the Titanic broke in half while sinking. That shit just sounds and looks fake at first glance."
Gays can't see color.
Gays can't see color?
Yeah.
Is that why they think the rainbow flag looks good?
Yeah.
It all harkens back to the beginning. For me, it would be the idea that like the space landings, like I can be told that space landings would be face, and I'm like, I guess, whatever.
Actually, gays can't see color. Actually.
Is that what's his name?
Like for me,
is that freaking
yes.
PragerU?
No.
Dennis Prager?
That actually makes sense, but I was
Gays
trying to do
can't
Neil
see
deGrasse
color.
Tyson.
Gays can't see color because color has forsaken them. Color is beauty, and beauty does not belong in the eyes of a gay.
And their stupid fucking audience would believe it.
It's got the blue background and like the animated text falling down, and he's like poorly green screened in front of it. So good.
Did you know that gays do not see color?
I have murdered 40 babies.
40.
All justified
because they're gay.
because they're gay. I could tell.
I can tell the newborns.
I murdered these gabies because they're gay.
I murdered. Happy Pride Month.
Gabies.
Prager, you fucking eliminating gabies.
I've
Holy
killed
fuck.
75 gabies in Pride Month.
Side quest. He's like, he's working up to that fucking.
He's trying to.
Oh my god, what's that achievement? What's that achievement in Gears of War 2 that was like fucking like kill like 53,000 fucking.
She's getting achievements. The PragerU achievements: kill 100 gabies in Pride Month. I am 3/4 of the way there.
It like pops up
Why
like
you so far along?
It pops up like the Xbox screen, where it's like you're 85% the way there to killing all gabies in North America, and it's like, what the fuck?
Oh my god, I love the idea.
Oh my
of
god,
just knowing what babies are gay. I just love that so much.
It's your moral imperative to make people feel uncomfortable about who they are at heart.
That sounds very real. That sounds very. God.
Anyway, for me,
yeah.
For me, I feel like it's probably fucking. I feel like it's very plausible to me that like a lot of historical figures are like amalgamations of several different people. I feel like I wouldn't be surprised to hear like, oh, fucking this incredible historical figure is actually like 4 different people who they just like kind of like merged together for the simplicity of history. That wouldn't surprise me because I just feel like if I don't see anything, like I know Lincoln was real, obviously, but like I didn't see him. I'm just believing everybody that he's real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if he's not
like,
real, I wouldn't be like, I'd be like, well, I guess cool.
Yeah, exactly. Like I could be told any number of things about the past, and I'll probably brush it off just fine. It's like, oh, Lincoln wasn't real. It's like, all right, doesn't change what's happening now. I guess like I'm still exactly where I am. So like fucking whatever. Like Lincoln being real doesn't change that.
I learned that the Mad Emperor Nero is actually the same guy as Nero in Devil May Cry 4.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
It's real history.
Dude, it's like when they say Shakespeare didn't actually write any of his stuff, and it's like, what at this point, like whatever, dude.
Oh yeah, well that's
Wait,
actually
so what?
That's a real theory.
So Nero is based off of what?
No, not.
Let's say what the fuck? What are you talking about?
I'm being completely.
Because I was like, one's a video game character and one's an emperor. They are.
What happened? Kingston, what was that? What was that?
The emperor had a.
That's why I was so.
It's like you forgot. It's like you forgot you were on a comedy podcast.
I was so confused.
Like,
I was like, "Why is he saying that?" Because my brain,
yes.
what's happening right now is my brain was trying to rationalize that Nero's not a real person.
Like, what am I?
Like, what are you trying to say?
The real Nero had some demon arm thing. It's like he had some devil arm thing, and that's what drove him mad to like have he was never mind. Nero was awesome. Everything you heard is a lie.
Do you think fiction in fiction is fiction? Like bland?
It's probably wilder. It's probably even wilder.
No. Like what I'm saying is like you have people like if you live in like Devil May Cry world, right, where people are running around doing flips and shit, and they got like demon arms, and they're doing like devil trigger shit, and like there's demons flying around. Like, do they tell stories about like I don't know, like a guy with anxiety?
You know what's crazy?
Because that's fiction to them.
It's the idea of like
because like we tell stories about people who do like fucking like Spider-Man, isn't that fantastic? But like. I don't know. Like I feel like it's like what else do you have to make up if you live in a world that fantastic?
It's the idea of like, is there horror movies inside of the horror worlds? Like,
exactly.
Yeah,
or there's no one's ever made a zombie movie in any zombie movie.
Like somebody,
that's what I mean. They definitely try to do that because that's why they usually never call them zombies. In every zombie movie or universe, they call them something different. Because zombies don't technically exist, so there's no zombie movies and shit, which is funny. Which is a funny concept to think about. Like, this entire time, no one's ever thought about things coming back to life and being like something that would be entertaining to make. Like bringing the dead back to life. And all
also,
of a sudden...
it was that too, but it's also like zombie and like zombification. Like, that is a thing. That's like specifically a thing that happens. Like, it's a word for a reason. The zombie is I don't know what the etymology of the word zombie is. I don't know what came first, like the fictional thing or like if it's like the real, like the fictional thing is based off of like a real concept. But like you have things like cordyceps, like the stuff that The Last of Us is based on, and that's very real.
Like those zombies by definition?
Yeah, well, yes, they are literally zombies. They are dead. They are organisms that are dead that are being piloted by a fucking... I mean, I guess it's technically an infection, but it's ostensibly a zombie. The only thing that makes a zombie really is like the supernatural element.
Crazy? Zombies are created in African and Caribbean religions. That's where it came from.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, if anyone happened to happen on an island where fucking people were just insane. So I'd imagine.
Yeah. The Caribbean thing especially makes sense to me because of some of those funerals that they have where they just prop the person up and they're like,
it's just fucking weird. Dude,
I'm entirely Caribbean. I'm very Caribbean. Like multiple.
Look, I'm Puerto Rican. I don't want you posing me like a fucking Barbie and dancing around my corpse.
I'm very multiple Caribbeans, and none of the ones I am do that. Thank God. Yeah. Thank God. I think we got Christianity. That's why
it's a Puerto Rican. It's known as a Puerto Rican funeral, but I can tell you right now, I've never seen that.
Because they Christianed you.
I've been to my share of funerals.
Bro. They took it out. All that other culture you had, they were like, give me that. Give me that. Give me that.
That's culture I want gone. Like, I don't want that. I don't want that part of it.
You know what's weird though? The idea of death, particularly in every religion that's not like Christian and like American, they're very fine with it. Like, death is not a big deal to many cultures, but for us, it's like the worst thing ever. which it is, and it's really sad. But they're like, other people are like, oh yeah, that's just peace. That's just, they're on to the next step. They're fine. Meanwhile, us, we're like, fuck, dude, I'm so sad. And it's like so strange to me. It's like, what the hell? You can be fine with death? That's real? You can do that?
I think it's the contradiction that our, Judeo-Christian society of where they try to spook you in saying that you're gonna be tortured forever. So that's scary. And then the prospect of living forever is scary. And what you're doing is kind of railing against, because death is sad, because in reality it's like, oh, I'm never going to see this person again. So you do have some time to mourn, but you're also kind of lied to, like, oh yeah, I'm going to see this person again. I'm going to be hopping up in some cloudy shit, or I'm going to be tortured together with them and all this stuff. So I think it's all this confliction, man. I think it causes so much chaos in your fucking head to try to really understand, and you can't really make peace with the prospect of death because you're not really sold something that truly makes sense and that you could be okay with. Like in other cultures where like, yeah, it's just a natural part of life. We're going to prop these people up on sticks or whatever. And then whatever. It's just like, it's like
some shit like that.
I will say like, I'm personally okay with death. Like, I don't care about dying personally. Like me, like I just know that it's just going to be nothing. And I'm fine with that. Like, whatever. But like, it's other people dying. I mean, obviously that's sad.
I don't give a fuck.
It's like very depressing.
I don't give a fuck, bro. I'll do it right now. I don't give a shit, bro. Give me
$20.
I'll do it right now.
You have no instincts at all. Like I have the instincts to survive. That's why I try to stay safe. That's why I drive very, defensively. It's why I do things other than say
I only drive like this.
I only drive
like a video. You drive like in a movie, Yeah.
I only drive backwards. I only drive backwards and way faster than the speed limit. I don't give a fuck, dude.
Can you get way faster than the speed limit when there's only first gear driving in reverse?
Double the speed limit or nothing.
That's it, bro. I don't give
a shit. Imagine
bro.
a car with fucking like 5 gears in reverse. Like you can
That's so dangerous.
You can go all the way. You can go like fucking 180 miles just going in reverse.
I feel like I've seen that on the Taconic.
Probably.
Oh my god.
Wait, I wanted to say something. I wanted to just in case of our fans, because this is still going on. There's a bundle. I just wanted to mention this for people. There's on the website Humble. There's a summer Capcom bundle. If you spend $20, you'll get 7 games, dude. Like you'll get Monster Hunter World, Devil May Cry 5, the Devil May Cry HD collection. You'll get Street Fighter 5, Dragon's Dogma, DMC, Street Fighter 4. Like you'll get a shitload of games
for what? $20?
$20.
Wait, where is this?
$20. It's on Humble. I bought a couple of games off of Humble before.
Yeah, so I've gotten Humble bundles before.
Yeah. So this one right now, it's basically over $200 value, and you just spend $20.
That is stupid. That is good.
Right. So I was just want to let you guys know, definitely do that because, like, especially if you haven't played some of these games before.
Is this on Steam?
Yeah, they're all Steam codes.
Like, oh my god, the original, the fucking 2008 Bionic Commando. I actually like that.
That makes
like
sense.
That game.
Okay.
I never played it. But I haven't.
Don't get your hopes up. It's fine. You know what I mean? But like,
they got Rise. That's crazy. I might have to pull up and do this.
They have Rise for 50% off. So they'll give you can get Rise and Ultra Street Fighter 5 or some shit for like 50% off.
This is good as shit, dude.
It's a crazy bundle. If you do more than $20, I think the rest goes to charity. But like I think $20 is the base value to get that all the items. But it's nuts, man. Because I've been holding off on the HD Devil May Cry, the HD collection, because it wasn't worth it. It was like $30. I'm like, I'm not fucking playing that shit for $30 or something. Yeah. So it's literally now just a couple of bucks now.
Yeah, that is actually like a really good fucking. That's a good deal, honestly.
Yeah, right. So fucking, and then some of you
people,
I'm not
gonna be able to play any of these because I'm gonna be flying soon.
If you already have these games, I mean, you can still gift them to people. Like it's a fucking crazy deal. Like just even
I don't have any of these, so
yeah.
That's
pretty
good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Someone wrote in. He says, "Hey, varsity linebacker, marching band drummer, and angsty debate kid. what are your thoughts on Come Town or in just other podcasts in general? Also, when's the Come Town cross Snark Tank in New York City collaboration?
I wish.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead.
I don't actually. I'll say I don't listen to any podcast. I listen to the stuff that we do just to kind of remember what the fuck we talked about, or just out of curiosity. If there's if somebody brings up something I say on sacred symbols, I'm I don't remember saying that. I have to comb through and go through the fucking timestamps and all that. But I'm not a podcast person. I do audiobooks primarily so that I can do other things.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah, I know.
I've listened to Flagrant 2 now. So I listen to Flagrant 2. I was listening to Critical Role. I started listening to more Joe Rogan again just to see why
look
what's up
when
with
he
him?
has a good guest on, the podcast is fine.
I think especially 2021 Joe Rogan, he was fucking up a bit. His dribble game was not good. He was not on point. But at the end of the day, when I watched him on Flagrant 2, and I just saw him be able to just relax and be because there's nothing better than comedians just hanging out. That's when they just get to chill and be funny with each other and fuck around, And I think that was that was a very good light to see him again in, because it was refreshing just seeing him just talk to people and be calm and not have to worry about everything he says. Because even now, I feel like everything he says is this is gonna sway people in a way that I don't want them to be swayed. I just want to say what I think,
Well, I think I personally think he fucked himself. He didn't have to, because even he's had on controversial people back in the day, but people saw it as, oh, this person's weird, and it wasn't a pattern where there was that whole weird intellectual dark web thing that was happening. Or there was just a certain type of people that, you know what I mean? It's a thing he got caught up with, and then he moved to Texas. He started hanging out. He started meeting up with Greg Abbott and fucking DeSantis. The two, you know what I mean? There's a pattern of shit, and it's he's kind of delve into that stuff. So it would be so much better if he reeled it back to start having on your fucking mixed martial artists, having on your comedians, having on interesting people. So when he did go on Flagrant 2, I watched it. And it was very fun. It was him just getting fucking Andrew high as shit, right? It was good. And
Andrew was baked. He was baked.
Yeah, he was fucked up. So Flagrant 2 is good. I like Flagrant 2. I do listen to Come Town. They're actually one of the few patrons. They're the only podcast that I'm subscribed to as a patron, because they have extra episodes per week. And I like them because they're essentially doing what we're doing, but infinitely lazier. But they just there's a weird aura that they have that they're allowed to be lazy. They're allowed to do bare minimum, and it's probably 70% gay jokes. And it reminds me of just being 13-year-old humor that I guess I'm still, I say 13-year-old humor, but I'm in my 30s and it's still funny to me. So it's not technically 13-year-old humor, you know what I mean? But I guess it starts when you're 13.
Yeah.
So I would fucking love to talk to those guys or whatever, but it's kind of the same thing as most comedians. They kind of only talk to each other. There's a weird we're in this together, and I don't want to use the word gatekeeping, but it's kind of like that, where every guest they have is to help out their comedian friends. They want to bring on the people that they're doing stand-up with. So as far as collabing, it's almost impossible. It's very hard.
You kind of have to be in that world in order to
be in
really
that
get
space.
But and to be fair, I feel like they would be really responsive the second you step into that world. I feel like if you go on stage, right? If you go to the Comedy Store or something, and you just mingle a little bit, or you go to Flappers or something and you do a set. I don't think it would be particularly difficult to get in with these people. But you have to do that. You can't just be oh, I'm off in my own world. Let's hang out. No, you gotta be in this world or not. It's
Brendan Schaub. If you know, I don't know if you're aware of Brendan Schaub, Chris, and his whole fucking bullshit. And just basically, he's the guy that Joe Rogan essentially humiliated him on podcasts, because he was he was kind of not the best heavyweight mixed martial artist in the UFC. And Joe Rogan humiliated him and basically telling him to like stop doing it. You're not focused. You're in and out. You're not good.
I don't think Joe had any bad intention, but Joe was just critiquing.
He didn't have bad intention, but nobody. You don't have a podcast that literally there is not one single time I can ever recall somebody having a heart to heart telling somebody, "Hey, I think you suck." And the top of the tier people would fuck you up.
He didn't say he sucked. I remember he was being very critical though. He was being like, I just don't think you got it. Like I don't think you got it.
He's telling. That's basically telling somebody they suck. That is without saying the actual word. Saying you don't have it. Oh, how do you think you would do versus Cain Velasquez in a wrestling match? And he was like, Brendan Schaub said, I think you'd be surprised. And Joe said, I think you'd be surprised. I think he'd fuck you up. And everybody knows how mental fighting is, or almost everything you do. When you fucking destroy someone's confidence like that, you're not gonna recover from that. And when you're on one of the biggest podcasts in the world, or talking to one of the biggest podcasters, but I don't want to get too deep into that. My whole thing is Brendan Schaub, because Joe Rogan felt bad, because he does feel bad about this. He's talking about this. He gave Brendan a large platform. He's been able to do things that most comedians would ever dream about doing. I mean, Brendan Schaub's not funny. He's CT riddled. He's terrible. There's a I'm gonna review one of his. He's CTE riddled.
What does that mean?
He's CTE riddled. When you get hit too many times in the head, you get CTE. Like OJ and pretty much every NFL person and a lot of boxers and stuff. Like their minds deteriorate. They go crazy. They kill and beat women and stuff. Like it's like crazy stuff. Like this is real shit.
God.
This is real shit, dude. See. Just look up CTE in NFL cases and stuff. There's a correlation between. There's so many jokes talking about stand-up about being in an NFL. Like it is a requirement to beat women. You have to start beating your wife or something. There's just stupid because it happens so frequently. Anyway,
fucking
Brendan Schaub sucks. Go watch Brendan Schaub's latest special, Gringo Poppy, and tell me if this guy deserves to be associated or be considered a comedian at all.
Bro. Gringo Poppy's fucking bad,
it's
bro.
Fucking terrible.
It's so bad.
So that's my whole point of like, if you do it right, if you grind, like say I know Chris, you've dabbled into it, you've done some open mics. I never got to that level where I was kind of gearing up. I never actually sat down and wrote the material. It's just been floating around in my head because that's something I've always wanted to be into it and start to befriend some of the people that I look up to, man. Like I look up to like Tom Segura, fucking seeing these people grind for so many years, seeing fucking Bill Burr, and like these people are at the top of their game now. And Louis C.K., even though he's controversial, but same deal. Seeing these people like nobody knew who the fuck they were like a decade ago unless you were in the comedy scene, and now look where they are now. It's fucking nuts. And I love it, and I would love to talk to these people. I'd love to, try to chop it up with them and shit like that. And the Cumtown guys, like one of the guys, Stavros, he just released a special on the 5th, and did pretty well, man. It has already 1 million views. He's a fat Greek. Look, I'd love to get in that stuff, but
I would do a freestyle. I would be like, yo, I'd go up there. I wouldn't write anything down. I wouldn't prepare anything. I would just fucking get high, drunk as shit, stumble up on the stage, and just go for it. And watch I bring the house down. It's fucking amazing. Everyone's like, yo, shit. Dave Chappelle's like, yo, he's the future. And I'm just up there fucking belligerent.
I feel like if we did consistent, like, and what I mean by consistent, like, a handful of live shows every year, I think we would have that type of credibility that these guys are doing their show in front of live audiences, and like, they are a comedy show. I think that would be enough to be like, oh, these guys are respectable, and that they're not just a YouTuber, because that's usually the thing. Like, these people like, oh, you're not like, don't call yourself a comedian, you're just a YouTuber or something. Like I've heard shit like that, and it's like, yeah, I mean it's true, but these people, are they making people laugh? They are. I would say they are comedians, but maybe they're not stand-up comics, right? I think there's a difference.
There's a difference between a stand-up comedian and a comedian. Like there's you can say the same thing about comedic actors. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like there's plenty of people who. I'm adding all these things to my Steam library.
You're doing it right now.
Yeah, because I'm gonna forget. Like I know me, right, but like I think I don't know. Like I definitely wouldn't go out and be like I'm a comedian, but like I would say more I'm like an editor or like a YouTuber are so weird because I feel like there's like a negative connotation
Kind of.
when you say that, but I feel like generally speaking, I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal that people call themselves comedians as long as they don't say like as long as they're not like they're not masquerading as stand-ups,
Right.
you know?
I agree
Yeah.
with you. I
Yeah.
agree with you.
Exactly.
All right, what's
Yeah.
next?
Fuck it. Everyone listening, please go watch Gringo Poppy, and tell me
It's
if this
really
man deserves to have a special. I mean, he had a Showtime special like 3 years ago or something. That's dog
Showtime?
shit as well. And everyone's like, how the fuck does this guy have like a Showtime? Well, because of his connections. But when you see how horrible the fucking set is, that's the thing that would make you scratch your head. Like, oh, this guy is genuinely not funny. What's happening? This isn't. I'm not even being a hater. It's just, oh, this isn't funny. I almost wish it was, because I feel bad.
I almost wish this was funny, but it's not. It's just bad. I'm having a bad time. This is a bad time. I'm not having fun. I want to have fun. I'm not. This is a bad time. It's not funny. It's just not funny. Make it funny.
That's good shit. All right.
Right,
You
let's
got another question?
Let's move on to a different one. Oh yeah, sure. Women get ran a train on and no one bats an eye, but I do, and suddenly I'm gay. Wrote it, and he says, "Hey, y'all sexy
Nice.
bastards! It's June, aka Pride Month. And as a person of the F word, I feel compelled to ask if you had to fuck one man, who would it be and why? To keep it interesting, you can't say Keith David. We wouldn't. Keith David, I respect.
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck you, David.
Right.
For me, off top, Henry Cavill.
Right.
Off
We
top.
all we running Henry Cavill running train on us, man. That's for sure.
Off top.
I can't remember what I said. I feel like I didn't
You
say
said like
that,
Bo Burnham or
but, like,
some
No,
shit.
No, I did not say Bo Burnham. That is
You
insane.
like Bo Burnham or some shit.
Oh no, I remember
You
what I
said
said. I remember
Chalamet.
it was Timothy
Shove his-
Timothy Chalamet. Yeah,
Oh,
because
right.
he looks kind of like that girl from Stranger Things.
You look soft.
Not Millie. I'm not Drake.
but- I had to call me on my cell phone.
The fucking
Millie.
what's her face?
Nancy.
Late
Who is
night
I just
when you
think
need
she's so
my
fucking gorgeous.
Millie.
Um,
Really?
All right.
I mean, she
Yeah.
looks like an old
I
school
like-
model
I-
where she's like malnourished and shit.
I like people with distinct faces. You know?
Yeah. She's got a nice jaw and a giant forehead. She looks good. I like her.
Yeah.
She has-
like a Dragon Ball character.
She has a nice jaw and a giant forehead. She's Vegeta. The fuck?
She looks like
Say
a hot
Bulma.
Vegeta. Yeah, Bulma's
Where
got the
we,
same thing, right? Yeah. She's got
She's got like a
giant
big
fucking
forehead.
head.
All Dragon
That's
Ball
right.
chicks have all Dragon Ball chicks have tennis court
They
foreheads.
do all of
It's
them.
fucking ridiculous. Huh?
They
can't
do.
remember. I can't-
Their heads are
all of the women in
huge.
Dragon Ball are so insignificant, so I don't pay attention to them.
I want to see like Android like 18 and Bulma like just do like the head bashing like they're fucking like they're deer or whatever.
And
like
it
they're
sounds
fucking,
like two
antelope, like,
marbles
fighting
getting
and
hit
shit.
against each other.
It sounds like it shouldn't sound like that for sure.
Like, these are definitely living organisms, right? Why do they sound like fucking? Why do they sound
know.
like? Why does it sound like somebody's dropping marbles down the steps? The fuck is going on?
Listen. UNSC Forward Unto Dong wrote in. He says, "Howdy, Shart Stank. What's a piece of media you refuse to engage with out of sheer spite? For me, it's Witcher 3. Because I'm so short on free time nowadays. So a massive dialogue-heavy fantasy RPG is a hard sell for me personally. Cheers, fellas. I think I can't remember if I. What the fuck did we
I guess
say?
for me it's Yakuza.
No. Oh, for you it's Yakuza. Out of spite, you
Not
wouldn't.
even out of
you
spite.
wouldn't
I
play-
don't know. I just don't know if I feel like so heavily I wouldn't really like it, but I also at the same time is like that's the shit I used to love, but I don't really have the same quite taste that I used to when I was younger. So like I don't know. I'll play Yakuza eventually. I'll give it a try. I'll give it an honest.
I think Like a Dragon's good, but I think for me, I think it might be Star Wars. Actually, I think Star Wars has just gotten to the point where I just feel so overwhelmed by it, and it's so ubiquitous and unavoidable that it's slowly becoming like Imagine Dragons almost, where like I can't escape it now. Like there's like 40 shows. None of them have been particularly good. Like all of this new Disney stuff, even with the shows that people really like Mandalorian, like I don't think anybody in their right mind would even come close to the opinion that modern Star Wars TV is as good as like Clone Wars.
I would say Bad Batch and Clone Wars are the best.
Bad Batch
was
the
amazing.
new one.
It was amazing. I thought it was so fucking good, but no one talked about it. And Clone Wars, obviously, the final season was like award-winningly good.
I think that fan base is also just
it's incredibly. There is no way to repair Star Wars for the fan base anymore. It is too late. It's gone. It's no matter what's made, no matter how objectively good it could be, no matter how good it could be, there is going to be so many non-fans shitting on it because it's Star Wars, fans shitting on it because it's not exactly what they see Star Wars as anymore. And there's going to be like the small demographic of people like me is like, oh, I just enjoyed this. But it's too much. It's Star Wars means too many things to too many people now, whether it's good or bad now. It's too late.
I made fun of I made fun of I made fun of Kylo's lightsaber recently, and the response to that was so funny. Like, it was one of the funniest. Like, I had never seen that many angry people. And I saw somebody else like get ratioed in the same way, where it's like they were just like talking about Obi-Wan and how like the show like really fell apart real quick for me, and just 10,000 quote retweets.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, it's just a person not liking the thing you watch. Like, you don't have to. Like, imagine if I quote tweeted everybody who said Halo 3 sucked. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be such a waste of my time.
You would gain a fan base. You would gain a significant fan base of all the fucking Halo lovers.
It's just such a
like Chris Ray Gun's our champion.
No, but it's just such a weird thing to preoccupy yourself with. Like, I think Kylo Ren's lightsaber is a little fucking silly. I don't think it makes a lot of sense.
I think it's very irresponsible.
I understand that it doesn't have to because it's all about the aesthetic. Right?
No,
Star Wars is more
stupid.
about how it looks.
That lightsaber
it's 1,000% the aesthetic.
That lightsaber is fucking stupid. Chris,
look, hold on. But let me just finish this. It's not even like, I understand that Star Wars is an aesthetic. It's about aesthetics primarily, right? So like it's fine. Like, that's okay. But for me, it's like, not only is that impractical and dumb, but I also just don't think it looks cool. I think it looks cool from like the perspective of like a 9-year-old, which I guess is what Star Wars is for, really, if you want to be really specific. But like the whole like T crossguard with like a fucking lightsaber, it's just like, it's so damn silly looking. It's so dumb.
It's supposed to be taking inspiration from like a regular, like a long sword, like a broadsword.
No, I understand the inspiration, but I understand the inspiration, but it doesn't make sense.
It looks stupid.
Of course it doesn't. It's not. It doesn't have to make sense. I don't know. I feel like
I think it'd be badass if he had like a fucking, like, I was thinking like, because I was brainstorming with Eyeblind. It's like, oh well, it's supposed to be like, because those side things on Kylo's lightsaber are supposed to be like exhaust or something from the unstable crystal or whatever, because it can't be contained in the one blade, so it's like extended outside. Like,
who said that?
Like, whatever.
That sounds
I don't
fake
know.
as shit.
I don't know. Even if
I don't think that's real.
I mean, maybe not. But like the whole point is like, if that's
I think
true,
it's just literally a crossguard. I think it's literally just a crossguard.
But that doesn't make sense for like the design.
No.
Of it.
The idea is that lightsaber is an ancient design.
Well, it makes
where they had those for like that.
Doesn't it make just as much sense as a fucking sword having a crossguard?
No, it doesn't.
No, because blades are flat. Lightsabers aren't flat. They're entirely. It's almost like you know how like fencing swords have like the dome over the hand.
Yeah, that's for the handguard.
Yes.
That makes sense for fencing because the blades are more like lightsabers, where it's not like a flat thing that's going to like swish to the crossguard. It's going to go in every fucking which way.
Well, the problem with the fact that lightsaber is that that's lightsaber energy just being burned out of it. Like, there's no need for a crossguard for a lightsaber because it's pretty much like a rapier and a katana put together. You don't need a crossguard for that, you know?
Well, katanas do have
barely.
Not
they
all
very
of them.
barely have a cross. Like they have a.
But what I'm saying is like, but what I'm saying is like the type of sword that a lightsaber is, the crossguard that it needs is not one that goes in two very specific directions. It needs to be around It needs to be around the entire blade. You know, it doesn't, because it's a cylindrical blade.
But
it doesn't make sense for it to have a crossguard.
Well, yes.
I don't think because it's only going to be effective like
why would the cylindrical
10% of the time?
Like what is the shape of the? Help me understand the shape of the blade of the saber.
Let me put it this way.
What is that? When you're, because it's light, it just cuts through anything in this universe.
But if it's going to glide across another, like if lightsabers can glide through one another, not through, but like along one another, in the same way that a sword can like clash.
Right.
Then let me put it this way: imagine a sword has a blade that's like flat, right? Which is like normal, like this is how fucking swords work. It's like a flat blade. Now imagine the crossguard for this blade, if this is the flat side, is going from here to here. You know what I mean? Like if that was the crossguard. There's a reason why that's not how crossguards are designed. Because that doesn't make sense. Because that wouldn't protect you from a blade swishing down the blade and cutting your hands off.
I mean,
you understand?
I mean, not like
This is very difficult to explain without like visual aid.
Well, because like I'm just looking at like because I'm just looking at it as in a way that. Like
crossguards are meant to follow the blade. They're meant to point in the direction of the blade. That's the point of the crossguard.
In whose blade? In the opponent's blade?
In your blade.
Crossguard is supposed to be crossguard is supposed to be guarding your like when you have a crossguard, right? From what I'm thinking.
So
right?
like this is what I'm confused at. Like say I have the Zweihander, right, from Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
And the crossguard is like probably
what is that called?
The Zweihander, ZW. And then so like it has like the main crossguard, which is like probably 6 inches on each side, and then it has the little bullshit like, I just imagine like that stupid Kylo's lightsaber it's obviously not as big as Zweihander, but it's just some stupid ass fucking broadsword. It like even though it makes no sense to have a broad lightsaber sword because it's just light, so it's not even heavy.
Yeah.
So there's no point of swinging it hard or anything. But just we already know it's about the aesthetic, but. In theory, though, isn't like it being okay? We already know it's having the light be protection, like it's acting like it. It's way more dangerous than it would be to save you. But in theory, it couldn't it still fucking like if the lightsaber, somebody else's lightsaber hits the crossguard. In a specific angle, can it actually work as a defense? I don't understand like why.
It's a specific angle, but like it's so difficult to explain because it's like physics oriented. It works perfectly in my head, but like there's a reason why crossguards typically follow point in the direction of the sharp ends of the blade, and it's because when you clash swords, that's how they'll typically fall alongside. Like if you're going to slash a blade down somebody's sword, typically you're always going to be at some sort of angle, but it's going to glide down the not sharp end of the blade.
I understand what you're saying
and hit
now.
the crossguard. But when you have a blade that is fatal in every direction, then you need a crossguard that accounts for that. So you need
I totally understand what you're saying now. Because I didn't know you meant like the crossguard is on the same side as the sharp ends. I didn't know that's what you were saying.
Yeah, no, it's a difficult thing.
I was thinking just like in the direction of the blade. I was like, wait, you mean like they're facing up? Like I didn't understand.
No.
I was so confused for a second. No, I get it. I totally get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying.
It's so much more difficult to explain than it is to show. You know what I mean?
But it's good now. I'm totally caught up. And I know what you mean. Where it is for what happens when you clash with the blade, just by physics. And how it would glide along. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah,
why a crossguard is necessary.
Right.
I get it.
That's why that's why crossguards are only ever like, circular, like protecting the whole hand, or in the direction that the blades are cutting. You never see like a sword that's like.
Yeah, you wouldn't get a domed fucking crossguard on like a bastard or broadsword. It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, or even just a normal T crossguard, but like rotated in the direction of the flat end. Like it would make no fucking sense.
No point.
See, you should have a spinning one. You just somehow have it. You wind it up and then it
just
spins.
But that's so dangerous.
It should just be propellers.
But that's what makes it dangerous, though. The idea of like that design is bad because first and foremost, if the blades clash and you run the blades down the thing, you will be able to cut off the top of the lightsaber. For
yes,
Kylo.
you can.
You'd be able to cut
the
top
part
of the
where
lightsaber.
the part that's not light can
be cut off,
right?
And you just have that. That's why for lightsabers are they're literally like rapiers and katanas made of light. So all you have to do, so you can stab and you can swipe perfectly with it. That's what they're good for. And Kylo's design is sort of reminiscent to the idea of like a very European sword with a hilt, which is stupid. And that was an ancient design that they had before.
It is stupid.
They had it before, and
it's silly.
It is stupid.
I understand it.
If you turn in, because here's something like I barely care about Star Wars. I do, but then I don't. It's a weird thing. But I care. I haven't seen any of the Disney Plus shit, for example. Like it's just I'm like I know some of it's good. I just don't. I don't have time. When I see Kylo Ren's sword, I can shut my brain off enough to be like, oh, it's a cool design. Not in a way that like mechanically or like I know if I start thinking about it, I'm like that's really stupid. But I can look at it just as aesthetically and be like, oh, that looks kind of cool to me personally. Personally, I'm like that looks cool. I can see the Darth Maul's double-edged thing and be like, oh, that's pretty
that thing
cool.
Was also fucking.
But
I think it was also stupid.
That is the dumbest thing. Like even thinking about like that is infinitely more dangerous ever because it's like if you ever have a spear, right? Like even people who have spears that both have like at the end like a double-edged spear. It's not the vast majority of it's like sharpened and like it's like at the very ends of it and most of it is like just the pole. So you have almost no chance of wounding yourself.
The idea of twin blades existing in general, like they could exist, but like the blades aren't most of it. The blades are
exactly. It needs to be like
it's a staff,
20% of it,
and then there's two blades at the end of the staff.
At the very end of it, not
the lightsaber. You can just fight like this with somebody.
That is there's such a small margin of error where it's like think about how good Darth Maul has to be to fend off Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan.
Well,
like,
Qui-Gon sucks. That's the problem. Qui-Gon can't fight. Qui-Gon can't fight.
We're not getting into this.
Obi-Wan is the truth, though.
We're not getting into this.
Obi-Wan, with a little bit of help, should be able to beat Darth Maul. Like, come on. You would think.
Yo,
but I guess Qui-Gon just got in the way. Get the fuck out of the way, fucking. Get out of the way, you drunken racist.
Hey, bro, he apologized.
Just calling Darth Maul. Just calling Darth Maul the N-word.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
I can't tell if you're Indian or black. Let's go. Like he's just.
Oh my god!
I can't tell which one you are, but I'm going to kill you.
He hasn't.
I'm going to murder you.
All right. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's go.
I love FOV Sliders wrote in. He says, "Hey, New Yorkers and Derek, the only place I can get pizza by the slice for an affordable price is Costco. How much am I missing out on?"
Costco pizza is bad.
Yeah. I've been in places where Costco is unfortunately the best place you can get a pizza, but like I mean, it's pretty bad. It's a pretty bad situation.
It's nothing of. I would say Costco is fancy Little Caesars. Like it's just the ingredients are just a little bit better, but it's basically the same type of taste to me. It's just better.
I know what you mean.
You know, because it's not.
I'm so
damn man,
I miss pizza so bad, man. That was the best part about being in New York. Fuck seeing my family. Fuck seeing my family. Fuck seeing the woman that raised me from birth. Fuck seeing my fucking goddaughter and all this fucking shit that all these storylines that I had to close up because I left New York.
Yeah, fuck that.
Pizza at any time of the night was the best part of it. I'd go back in a heartbeat. I wouldn't see a fucking single person that I love, and I would get pizza.
Yeah, I've definitely done that. I've definitely flown to New York and just spent most of the time just in the city eating pizza. I think Elon really. I'm starting to think about like the Hyperloop and how excited I was when I was a kid about it, and like it just never happened.
Of course not.
If I was living in LA and I could just like take a train to New York. You get in a pod
and you end up in New York. You know how much the world would change. You know how much information would be changed so fast, dude. That would be the start of the golden era.
Yeah, that would actually democratize real estate also because at that point it's like you're always. You're always near something you need to be.
That would change minimum wage. That would alter so many laws in the world about what you can and can't do certain places, it would inherently mean
That's why
it doesn't exist.
That's why we don't have it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, literally. It would be too good for most people, so we don't have it. That's the
1 billion%.
Imagine being
so
able to go to
fun.
Japan in an hour and a half.
Well, I don't know about that. Like, that's you probably still need to fly to Japan.
Nah, bro. You go underground. You're like, all right, go on your tubey.
I would not take a train underwater.
I would.
Nah, I can't. That's scary as hell.
I think as long as it's been stable for like a decade.
I'm not gonna go first. Of course, the usual rule: you don't go first. You go third.
Like all
Go
these,
first.
like all these idiots that are using the self-driving car shit right now. They're all like, ooh, they're fucking the prototypes right now, and I'm like, you guys.
you
are,
also-
you guys are
And then when the
silly.
car
Do
turns
you
into
guys-
Bumblebee and you get fucking
you guys-
splattered inside of
you
it.
get dismantled.
Where's Optimus? And you turn it into juice.
just bleeding. Just there's blood just pouring out of Bumblebee.
Blood.
It looks
and
like he's crying.
Blood and fucking bone bits and tearing up denim.
What were you saying, Chris?
Do you guys do the thing that I do when you grocery shop, where like if you look for something specific, especially if it has like an expiration date or if it can be tampered with, you always go for like maybe like the third one behind
Yes.
the first one that's facing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good.
You,
Yeah.
you never go
I'm
first.
sure I'm not
You never go
neurotic.
first.
Yeah. You got to get some of the stuff in the back, especially when you think about how disgusting people are. Everyone's fucking touching everything.
Everybody goes in
Yeah.
itching their asshole violently, putting their fist inside
I
their
am
asshole, and it touches it.
Jesus Christ. Digging in their pants, popping a hemorrhoid, and then wiping it all over a fucking glass of milk.
Digging in their pants like he's searching for something, like a dog trying to retrieve his bone. It just
Bro, I made the mistake. I bought some Chips Ahoy cookies, right? I made the mistake of grabbing the first one on top. I got home. That shit was already open. I was so
you
fucking
can't do it,
mad.
man.
I was
Always-
so mad.
Did you scream?
Always,
Did you
it's always
scream?
got to be a rule. Always go for the third one. You don't want to go for the one that's like, it's weird. You got to go for the middle specifically because that's the least fucked with part. Because like, especially
Yes.
like when you're talking about like, when you're in a supermarket with like the fridges where like it opens from your side and then like in the back, obviously there's the stock people who like put it
Yeah.
in from the back. Like you got to go for the middle because it's like the least fucked with.
Right. Totally agree.
Advice from us to you on the here on the Snark Tank. We try to help people. Let's see. All right, now we can go on to some new stuff.
Oh, let's do it.
This name that I still don't like. I don't know what your name is. I don't
it
know how to
alien?
read this.
Alien
I mean,
symbol?
if you check the document, you can see it. It's very obvious which one. It is a bunch of hieroglyphics wrote in, and he says, or she says, or whatever it says, is probably that fucking Dolly AI writing in.
Why are you
Hello,
abusing me?
hello, bitch, and blacker bitch. Would y'all eat
Punk-ass
human
black bitch.
meat if it was grown from a lab?
Blacker bitch. Shut the fuck up. Fuck you. I'm not answering your question. Disrespect me like that. Forget it.
I would not eat human meat if
Never.
it was born.
Never.
from a lab.
Never. If
No.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
I'm barely. Do you see this guy's name?
I can't.
Yeah, it's it's
What is that, fucking wingdings?
It's some weird alien language for sure. It's
We translate it into Ariel.
It's probably from fucking Star Trek or some bullshit.
Yeah, I don't
Probably-
fucking know. It's
probably
bleeding into the other
Klingon.
names too. I would not eat human. I don't know if I'm barely okay with eating like chicken and like beef that was grown in a lab. You know what I mean? Like I would still
I'm
rather.
not barely. I'd eat that shit. I don't give a fuck. I eat chicken from the lab. Whatever. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What is it? What is the problem?
Look,
gonna be?
I understand that this is going to sound really bad, but I mean it. So like I'm fine. Being truthful with you guys. I think because I've had Beyond Meat, I've had vegan meat, I've had, scientific recreations of
Chris, can I tell you? Okay.
popular
I'll let you
foods.
finish. That's on my part.
I think suffering probably helps. You know,
Is that? Yeah. Is
I
that
feel
what
like
you think?
I feel like there's a taste that you lack when the meat doesn't suffer.
Chris, I want you to know something really crazy. It is almost impossible you haven't eaten cloned food yet. It is almost impossible you haven't eaten.
Cloned. Well, no, but that's still an animal. Like,
lab,
they don't clone.
you've probably eaten lab
Jason, they don't clone. They don't clone slabs of meat.
You've probably eaten lab food already. Like you're like to think you haven't is probably silly. Like very likely you've probably done it and been like, man, this is the best. This is the best chicken sandwich I ever had in my life, and that shit never had a face.
No, you can clone a chicken. You can clone a chicken and kill it. Like that's fine. Yeah. But like the point is like you're killing it.
Yeah, I mean, look at the. I feel like I have to disagree with the suffering part.
I'm exaggerating a little bit, but like I feel like there is something weird. Like even though like all the components are there, there's something missing in Beyond Meat. Like it feels weird.
You know what I think it is? I think it's knowing that it's not. Yes. Yeah, meat is what really fucks you up.
No, but
I think so.
I've had people be like, hey, I got you a burger without telling me, right? And it's like, it's not. They didn't tell me it was like Beyond Meat. And I remember tasting it, I was like, this is fucking...
Because it's
definitely not because...
different.
Oh, it does because it doesn't have the fucking fat from the animal in it. There's definitely different...
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference. But I will say, one of my roommates, his girlfriend is vegan, so he's been having all this vegan bullshit in our fridge. And he made... they made meatball subs. And I gotta say, other than the cheese, it was fucking delicious. It was really good, but the cheese was fucking vegan cheese.
Yo, vegan cheese, bro. Remember we had vegan cheese? Remember we had vegan cheese in our first apartment? You were like, yo, what the fuck is this? It looked like carrots. It looked like carrots shaped like cheese. And I was
what?
When
what
we had vegan
about?
cheese, were you there? Were you there? It was me, you, and Jalen. And we had vegan cheese.
We had vegan cheese? Why would we have vegan
cheese? Because we were like, I wonder what it's like, because Jalen picked it up, or you picked it up, or something like that, or someone gave it to you, and we ate it, and we were like, yo, what the fuck is this?
I might have been dating Barbara at the time, because she's vegan.
Oh, right.
So she probably had,
and we were like, what
some
the
vegan ass cheese?
Fuck is this?
That would make sense.
I have no problem with veganism at all. I have no problem with veganism. I have no problem with. In fact, I hope one day.
I think it's probably morally correct.
One day,
they literally are on the side, ethically, 100%. Like there's no argument against. There's no arguing against it. But once they figure out how to get it to taste exactly like meat,
then I'll be on board. Yeah,
that's when I think the world will shift. I truly believe that.
They can't do that, bro. You know how much money is tied up in fucking
they got it.
Agriculture. They can do
it. They will overtake the vegan industry easily, and it'll actually be probably better costly for them overall of housing these giant animals and shit. You know, it'll be better for them overall.
Yeah, but then here's the sad reality: is that those animals are going to go extinct.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Cows are going to be like
chickens are going to go extinct.
The only reason
cows might exist, cows might exist because they're actual importance.
But that's what a cruel irony that is, though. That like the only reason that these animals have survived so long is because we can't stop killing them. That is so
make them
crazy.
Fuck, and then we straight up judo chop their fucking heads off with machines.
A hen is like, wow, just had my baby. Today's a good day, and some fucking bumpkin comes in, takes a knife, decapitates him, then throws the body on the floor.
Huge scimitar, just slices.
Gets a scythe, bro. He's playing with it.
What's the matter,
playing
son?
With the scythe, twirling it.
What's the matter, son? You've hardly touched your pork face.
What's the matter, son?
In dire, just died in the most horrifying way.
It's just a flat pig's face on a plate, no seasoning, no sauce, no nothing.
Son? You've hardly touched your friend. Remember him comforting you when you were sad? Remember this? Remember this animal being your friend? Remember you feeding it and it walking up to you and looking at you with adoration, and it got excited when it saw you? Remember it ran into your arms the day you killed it and then you killed it?
You fucking gutted its belly, and then the litter of pigs came out, and then you fucking threw them in the fryer. You see
that video? You see that video of the prawn, or like the fucking it's like a crawfish or something. He's crawling up to a frying pan and just falls in and sizzles.
It's so fucked up.
Oh my god!
People that do shit.
I would feel.
Did they
I don't
finally,
care about that because it's a roach, basically.
Did they finally? I think there's laws now against cooking, at least in America. I don't know if this is true. I just heard that there's laws against cooking crustaceans alive. Like you have to kill them humanely.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. They don't have eyes regularly. I can't see it being sad. Shut up.
It's not about it being sad.
It's
about it being in agonizing pain before it dies. Which probably makes it taste worse because you imagine.
In fact, I've heard this. Most farmers that farm like very exotic, like wagyu and shit like that, they make the animals have as good as life as possible before they kill them. I've heard that time and time and time again.
Well, because it just makes sense. The stress hormones and everything and straining and stuff. If you're in dire agony before you die, there's no way you're gonna taste better. There's no way you're gonna taste better. So I feel like
stressed bison.
Have you had a bison burger before?
Dies.
I love bison burgers.
Oh my god, it's delicious.
It's very lean. I will say that it's very lean. At least the way that they package it.
Yeah, I like bison. I haven't had it in a long time though. It's been like probably like
it's a little pricey.
Like 9 years.
Oh, it's pricey.
If you want to get a pound, if you want to get a pound of bison, it's probably $10.
I would always order it from like a restaurant or something. Like
I see.
Yeah, I think they had it at like those chains, like Ruby Tuesdays had them, and I remember like them being pretty good.
For me, my thing is this. Now, this is one thing that's one trait that I've developed. For food.
Oh no.
For food. Whoa. Other than that, I've developed this feature. I wasn't born gay, but I developed gay. If you're gonna have food, and spend the money on it. If you want to have good food, spend money on good food. Don't eat cheap, because eating is one of the most true luxuries. I feel like being able to eat when you're hungry. Because I've been hungry and not been able to eat, and that is the worst experience ever. There's nothing worse than that, dude.
It's so bad.
when you're going to get food, when you're buying food, when you're eating, spend the money on it. Don't trip about it. Just spend the money, enjoy your food, and then go on. Like that's one of the few things I say you splurge on: food and air conditioning. Those are the two things that you should splurge on in existence.
That's me as well.
Growing up in fucking houses where they would be stingy with the AC. Or no AC at all, man. Bro, it's the worst thing when they fucking
in New York City, bro, and they don't turn the heat on when it's fucking freezing. Anyone that has experienced that, bro, that will make you jaded. That's why New York is that's why inner cities are full of crime. Those motherfuckers will see it's like, oh, it's been snowing for 13 hours, and we're not turning the heat on. Motherfuckers are shivering and thinking about killing. That's all they're doing.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, we would only have the heat on in November and December, and then January to from January onward, it was just like you'll be fine. That is insane.
It gets the coldest in January.
I know, but like for some dude, it was so bad. Like that affects your brain psychology to an insane degree, to the point where it's like now that is like I will keep heat and fucking air conditioning running for as long as I fucking want.
I'll see that electric
because
bill,
that is the one thing,
and I'll be like, fine. Don't give a shit.
Exactly. It's like that electric bill, whatever that electric bill is worth it, because like there is no feeling like maybe just genuine hunger.
Those are the two worst feelings,
but
dude.
like, but being in like a house that's too fucking cold or too fucking hot is so painful. Like, just being in, like, a comfortable temperature is, like, so ideal to just being, like, mentally okay.
There's nothing worse than trying to sleep in uncomfortable temperatures, bro. That is the worst feeling, other than genuine hunger, and I guess, like, real bad depression, maybe.
I'll skimp. I will. I'm not gonna lie. I'll skimp on food if it means I don't have to see my breath indoors or sweat the whole day. You know, like that is. Right. It's so bad.
I'll go food. I'll go food over that.
Do you remember when we were living? Well, it's me specifically in Glendale, because when we lived in Glendale, my room just didn't have AC.
Bro, right now
it was just not. We were at the top of our building, and my room was like facing like an open thing. It was like an open like parking lot. So like the sun would beam down on our apartment into my window, and then we had one air conditioner. It wasn't central air, so it would just beam through the rest of the house. And the layout was. You remember the apartment?
Of course, it was horrible.
You remember the apartment, Derek?
That's when we first met. When we all first met each other.
Yeah. Well, that was also like I remember like a specific photo when I was packing because you and Casara Vera were there for some reason. I remember it was like I think it was around VidCon or something. But like that layout was just like the air conditioner just skipped by my room. Sweeney, you would come in there often and be like, "There's a genuine like 10-degree temperature difference."
And right now that's my current room in our current apartment, where my room is 20 degrees hotter. Like every time I'm recording, you guys don't see that. There's this fucking humidifier on, or else I will sweat till I die. And it's so fucking bad. And now I'm at the point
it's your PC, right? It's cooking your room, right? Your PC's cooking your room,
my
right?
PC actually doesn't get that hot because of liquid cooling and shit like that. It doesn't get too hot. But it's just the fact that my lights are on, because without my lights, I won't be able to fucking, like, I'll look all muted. I'll look like the creature from that photo. So, like, I need my lights. And my lights, for some reason, in this room burn me the fuck up. So I have to have my AC on, and I'm so, like, I see the bill, and I'm like, I don't care. And now, the next place I live, when me and Lily get a house or the next apartment we move to or wherever, it has to have central air, or else I'm not living there. I refuse. I'll 100%. I'll have it installed even. I'll pay the money to have it installed. It's so necessary,
so important.
Dude.
It's so especially in Los Angeles. But like,
I feel you, man. Right now it is 83 degrees in my room, and right outside my door it is 72 degrees. So, you know, once I'm excited to open the door, because my PC heats up my room like crazy, and my monitors and shit. It fucking, and now I have the studio light on. So yeah, it gets way warmer, and I'm so excited to, when we're done, to open the door and have the fucking just all that cold air rush into
that
it. So it can
Russian
be a normal,
is frigid.
Quick advice, Kingston. Because you have liquid cooling, be careful when you move.
Oh yeah, I know.
PC.
I know. I only lift it up. I only lift it up, and I don't like. I lift it up and I drag it forward slightly and put it on top of things. I don't move it very often.
It's so sensitive. Like I remember like when I was first moving, when I was like packing all my stuff up, and I couldn't fit my PC in a box. Like it was so big.
Damn.
Like there was no box big enough to fit it in. It was just like, it was always like just too big. And I put it in a box, and I was like, fuck, it doesn't fit. And then I put it out, and I put it back, and like the liquid cooling got all fucked.
Really?
Just from like putting it in a box and taking it out.
I've traveled with
because,
this,
like,
and I moved with this.
Because apparently like bubbles form or something, and you have to get it. I just switched to fans. I just fill my fucking thing with fans. I don't care.
My liquid cooling works
shit.
so well for me. Thank God. Praise God, it works so nice.
It was working well for me for a while until I had to like really move it. But yeah, I don't know. We got let's do one more.
Gotcha. We got one more. On this.
Magma T wrote in. He says Mickey Mouse is only a few years away from entering the public domain. That's crazy. Are you excited for the madness? As an example of what the public does with IPs, check out the Winnie the Pooh slasher film. What is that called again? The Winnie the Pooh fucking Poohed. Was it Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey? That is so fucking cool. I love that. I love that that's real. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. I wonder how that's even possible though. Like I understand that things expire like trademark wise, but like how the fuck does Mickey Mouse, how is Mickey Mouse going to enter the public domain? That's going to be,
I mean, they've been trying to fight it for a long time. I still feel like they're going to still pull some last minute bullshit to delay it again.
Yeah, if anybody could do it, it's them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they're the only ones who've been able to fucking do it for this long. Like, just like, nope. I'm like, dude, it's been fucking forever. I can't wait to see
all the fucking fucked up Winnie the Pooh. Well, not Winnie the Pooh, but all the
I'm waiting to see what Meat Canyon comes up with. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
You can do some good shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a good time, brother.
I wonder if when Bugs Bunny goes public domain, he'll post that. He'll
post it again. That'd be fucking sick. That'd be so good.
Yeah. That was actually a short one. Let's find one.
You got a tight little man
more,
on you, don't you?
Let's find one more question in this sea of things. Mitch McConnell's Tortoiseshell wrote, he says, "Hey, Snark Boys, hope you're all doing well. Recently, I started playing Pokemon Go again, and it got me thinking, has there ever been a game or show that you set down for a while and you come back and it's wildly different? Yes. Now it's like all of them. Like this is recent, but I just jumped into Fortnite again because I found out that they had like Fortnite. I found out that they had a no build mode where like people can't build, and like I hated the fucking building shit. Like I hated the idea that like, oh, I'm playing what is ostensibly not a first person shooter, but like an arena shooter where I'm like looking for equipment and power ups and fucking weapons on the map. And somebody gets themselves in like a bad position, and then they could just be like, no, just kidding. I'm going to build a fucking 10-story mansion, so you can't fucking find me. I hated that shit. So I found out that they got rid of it, so I was like, I'll jump in. It's free, whatever. And it's way different than I remember. You could like slide. There's a specific thing that I was so enamored with. That I'm so happy that it's in there, and I wish more games had it, where if you down somebody, if you down an enemy, you can pick them up and just abduct them. I think that's hysterical.
Literally every time I down someone, I'm like, yo, get her, bring her to the room. Yo, grab her, bring her to the room.
Yeah, we would just grab people, run into like the nearest building, lock the door, and just execute them. We would just like throw them into dumpsters and throw a grenade in the dumpster
or
with them.
Throw them
just
off
to see
buildings.
people so helpless is so fucking
buildings.
funny.
It's griefing,
That's
bro.
hilarious.
That's just griefing, but it's so funny.
It is griefing, but it's so damn funny. Like that's such a good idea.
It's funny,
you know,
we've been playing Fortnite, and like I've been having fun to the point that I want to play Fortnite. Where I'm like, man, I'd like to play Fortnite today. It's
fun, man. I even when I was playing it earlier, I was like, before the no build stuff, I was like, there are parts of this that I like. I just hate this fucking incredibly autistic build mode. I hate this. Like, especially when you watch people like who are pros at it, who just like it's like you're watching it. It's like an epileptic trigger thing where it's just like
look fun. It doesn't look fun. It doesn't look like it's like watching people play Dota 2 professionally. Like it doesn't look fun.
Yeah.
Like at that level, I'm like, what is this? What am I watching?
It's just keybinds. It's just keybinds and autism, bro.
It's exactly
autism,
that.
Bro.
I'm like,
that
isn't fun.
Sea of Thieves is another one. Sea of Thieves is another one that constantly changes. There's always like new shit in there. Like I really live service
in general,
games as a whole just kind of what they do. But
I might finally jump into because I've been waiting so long for Elder Scrolls 6. I might finally jump into Elder Scrolls Online because they've been dropping so much content consistently, and then they were like selling it for $5 or some bullshit to just jump into it. I tried it when it first came out, and I was like, "This is not Skyrim," and then I turned it off. But it's been
this isn't Skyrim. What's going on here?
I think I did the exact same thing.
I did the same thing too. I was like, this isn't Skyrim.
It's been so long. I'm like, maybe it's good now. It's been so long. I'm like, you know what, dude? I think I'm gonna jump back into that shit because it's been years since I played it. So
it's still not Skyrim, bro. You're gonna be disappointed. You're gonna be like, oh, this is.
Yeah, probably.
I've heard it's good though. Like I've heard like once you get into it, it's pretty good. But like it's just MMOs. I don't have the time for proper MMOs.
It's not Skyrim, so I'm not playing it. It's not Skyrim. Give me Skyrim. Give me Skyrim again. Skyrim.
Dude,
Skyrim,
if they
Skyrim.
just did...
Imagine Skyrim. MMOs are like imagine Skyrim, but every time you took a break, the world continued without you. And you came back, and then you just didn't know what the fuck was going on because you didn't log in once a day. You know, like that's MMOs for me. And I'm just like, I'd rather have like an RPG that I can just kind of jump into whenever I want.
That's so true. Would you guys be excited if Elder Scrolls 6 was Skyrim 2, or would you be annoyed?
I would be totally stoked for that.
It depends if they need a new engine, bro. They need a new engine. If they got a new engine and they like,
that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
I'll say this, man. Like some of the stuff, like you always have to take these things with a grain of salt, but if they deliver on what they're talking about delivering with Starfield, that's kind of insane.
I just want a new engine, man. I hate that they all play the same way. Like, just update it a little bit. A little bit of razzle.
I actually don't mind that they
won't do it because most people don't mind. Kind of like the Souls franchise or the From Software games. They all kind of operate basically the same.
I would say very particularly Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 and Elden Ring are very, very, very similar. But Ghost and not Ghost. That's not a fucking firm game.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But
Sekiro and Bloodborne are not the same. They are different games.
Yeah, Sekiro and Bloodborne play noticeably differently.
And Elden Ring is the most. They just add more mechanics to the Dark Souls game. Here's just more mechanics.
Elden Ring is just giant Dark Souls. That's literally it's giant Dark Souls. But that's not a bad thing, though. I guess
The thing with Bethesda games is like I don't think they need a new engine necessarily. I just think they need to do better.
I'm tired of how they move and how they punch and like I'm tired of that shit.
I want more fluid running. I just want more fluid. I just want more fluid running, bro. And I want to be able to run and jump. Actually,
I just want a good RPG. That's all. Like I don't like. For me, it's like to me complaining about like specifically like the gunplay or like the parkour system in like a Fallout game to me is kind of like being like, oh man, the shooting in KOTOR sucks. And it's it does.
No,
but that's not what KOTOR's about.
So many engagements are based on shooting and running and jump. Like if you could just run and jump out of running instead of having to do literal tech in an Elder Scrolls game, that'd be fucking great. I have to use my finger ability. I have to wave dash to actually jump out of running in Elder Scrolls instead of me just jumping normally. And it makes me so like, I just wish they modernized it a little bit. Like they went into the farm, they were like, all right, let's just add a little bit more fluidity in everything. That's all. A little more fluidity.
Yeah, just more polish, I think, would go a long way.
Right. Think about the Dragon Age franchise, though, because I personally think Inquisition has a very good combat system.
Amazing.
But there's a lot of people that are so used to like the KOTOR and Dragon Age Origins, and they hated number 2. They hated because it was just hack and slash. And then they're so like, I think they did a great balance in Inquisition, but there were so many people that are like, man, I feel like they would do the same fucking thing. Especially since every Bethesda game is literally the same. If they did something different, people would be like, man, even though it's better, even though it's fucking better, it's smoother, it plays better, it's different, it's fresh. People are like, I want my shit to look like Gumby. I want him to move like Gumby. So I miss that. I miss that.
People try to argue. People for real to my face argued that Dragon Age Origins gameplay is better than Inquisition. I'm just like,
that's so fucking stupid.
You are nonsense. Incapable. You're incapable. Better is a subjective term, and doesn't really exist. But there's a term I think called when it comes there's objective subjectivity. That's where I exist. Where it's like, if everyone's saying it's better, if this is objectively moving smoother,
Dragon Age. You know what it's like? It's like saying Dragon.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's like saying the Model T objectively runs better than a fucking modern day car. It's just like, it's like having the audacity to say, I love this simplistic bullshit compared to something that has way more fluidity, way more horsepower, way more like everything. It's so stupid.
I love this is a stupid thing to say. This simplistic bullshit.
it's so. Like, dude, I can fucking... Oh, man, it's the final battle. It's the final battle, fucking Dragon Age Origins. I'm fighting that stupid-ass dragon or whatever. I'm going to just press engage and then go make a sandwich.
Literally.
Like, that's pretty much...
Literally. I think the story's amazing. I think Dragon Age Origins is one of the best RPGs ever.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
But the gameplay... One, you're not there for the gameplay exactly, and I admit that, and I understand that, and that's a thing.
Well, that's what RPGs typically are. Like, even in tabletop, you're not there for the gameplay.
Well, no,
really.
you are. Like, it's not even tabletop. You are there.
You're there for the systems. The gameplay in like a tabletop is more about the systems and the skill checking. And that's not really gameplay.
It's not gameplay like the form in which someone goes and makes mechanics for a game and then you sit down and play it. But that's the gameplay, Like the way a rogue plays the game is the rogue's gameplay. The way a ranger.
No, I understand what you're saying, but like it's different in the sense that like you don't play Fallout in the same way that you play Doom.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You don't play Skyrim.
Right.
You don't play like KOTOR in the same way that you would play Jedi Fallen Order. There are different reasons to play games like KOTOR. Like KOTOR, if you're playing KOTOR for the gameplay, fucking hell, somebody get help.
Put him down.
Because KOTOR plays like ass. Like if KOTOR plays like dirty pussy. Like it's disgusting. It's such a fucking terrible gameplay experience.
Dirty pussy. I'm fucking losing my mind. I'm losing my fucking mind here.
But the story.
You beat KOTOR, right, Chris?
No, because I ran into that game breaking glitch. Remember?
Oh my gosh! But like from like awesome. I play like which
I ran into a game breaking glitch where like I didn't have the I wore a disguise. This is super early on in the game.
With the Sith, when you were in the Sith disguise?
With a Sith, yeah. I wore a disguise and I snuck in, and then they killed me, and then I respawned back before I went in, but the disguise was gone. So like I and I don't have the skills. My skills aren't allocated. You can go in like
you can get past that point. You just got to kill another Sith. Have fun killing another Sith somewhere opening the street.
But that's the thing. It's like I could get past it, but like the way that I wanted to play the game, like it's a role playing game. You know what I mean? Like the whole point was that like I wanted to do it this way, and then it just said fuck you.
I'm playing it right now, and I'm forgetting how long it takes to get a lightsaber again, and I'm like, fuck, dude, this is like. It's like 6 hours of gameplay before I get a lightsaber. Shit. And then you get your lightsaber and you're like, fuck, dude. My lightsaber's weak as shit compared to what's her name's. Fuck, dude. I'm weak.
I might play KOTOR on Switch because I feel like that's probably like a really good platform.
It's so good on Switch. And it works.
Yeah.
that's what makes it best.
And it works. And it works. That's their selling fucking point.
Yeah.
Hey, it works.
The PC version's fucked. The backwards compatible Xbox version runs really, really well, but it has that bug.
You gotta get it. You gotta get it through fucking.
I got the Nexus patches. It works. It works well if you put some Nexus patches on it and maybe you just overhaul it and to where I was playing it enough to where I was actually impressed with the graphics. And I was like, I need to fucking switch it up because now I'm starting to be impressed by this fucking the lighting. I'm like, oh wow. This looks pretty.
The lighting in KOTOR looks amazing. Meanwhile, it's a cardboard box with a happy face drawn on it.
It's fucking terrible.
This game looks great.
I played Fallen Order right after it. I was like,
Could you imagine you thought that video games got as good as KOTOR? Like graphic
there was a time,
and then someone brings you like fucking Red Dead 2 and you die.
You probably would die.
You just die.
You probably would die. I specifically remember my friend playing Metal Gear Solid 2. He was like, dude, it's never going to get any better than this. Like, he was so impressed with Snake's face. He was like, holy shit.
You know how I remember bad Snake's
so
face looks
I remember being a kid and thinking Spider-Man PS1 looked amazing. And that's the worst looking version of that game.
Bro, I thought
like Black Cat in that game looks like a Lego, dude. Like it is the strangest
I remember
fucking
playing
character
Smash
model.
64 and thinking it was gorgeous. I remember that, and I look back at myself and I'm like, oh yeah, obviously I'm retarded. Like, duh. No, obviously, dude, I'm like,
Lara Croft's tits didn't look like triangles to me. They looked like tits to me. Like my head was confused somehow. Like we were trying to find the code that obviously never exists where you can get her naked. Topless.
Yeah, when she's swimming and she's doing the swimming stuff in her gazebo area. I remember that. Shit would lit.
And it's like looking. Why would you want to see that? Why would you want to see triangle tits? Like that wouldn't do anything.
Because it's all you had.
That's
Eric.
all you had.
It's all we had. It's like the both. It's not like now where if I want to see everything I could ever want to see, I just go. Is everything I've ever wanted to see is seconds away.
Yo, you guys remember the fucking Street Fighter 5 showcase where fucking Chun-Li's tits were just jiggling like fucking Dead or Alive, and they said, "Oops, that was a glitch." And I'm like, how does?
And the culture was mad. The culture was like, "How? Don't take this from me. Don't take this from me."
And I was like, okay, first of all, that's not a glitch. That's physics. That's Dead or Alive physics that they probably accidentally forgot to turn off. And then, of course, they were just like, fuck, like, we have no choice. The Americans are demanding us to turn off. And it was so upsetting because they were jiggling just as much as Dead or Alive 1, which was I mean, if you read the reviews of Dead or Alive 1, where like this game's really impressive, but everyone, I don't know why their chest is jiggling so much. That shit reminds me of that fucking idiot that said, "Why are there these butt shots of Miranda Lawson in Mass Effect? Like, why would they do this? We're gonna remove them." They're asking the question why, and I'm like, are these people? Do they not have any sex drive at all to have to ask that question? These titties are jiggling because people like jiggling tits. Miranda's ass is showing because men like asses, or people in general. Everyone likes asses.
So many. It's just so weird that the outrage over that stuff compared to like, oh yeah, why not? You could do so. There's so many violent games out there that are like awesome, by the way, that I love, that are wonderful. But like, you could go into Fallout and shoot a person's body away from their head. You know, like you could not only kill these people, you could drag them and like fucking like put them in a trash can.
And in Red Dead Redemption 2, I made it my mission to kill people that had good horses. I would find them, lasso them, kill their horse in front of them, and then ride them with my horse till they died. That was what I did. That was like how I played the game. Like, I played it in front of Lily one time, and she was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I was like, isn't it funny? This guy had like a fucking beautiful black stallion, dude, max stats, everything. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Hog-tied the motherfucker. Made him face his horse, shot it with a shotgun.
You're such a. I mean, look, I can't condemn you because I do horde mode, where, you know, you get the cops. So there's the first gun shop in the first town. I forgot what the first town's called. The first town you show up in, there's
Strawberry. No, it's not Strawberry.
It's
I can't remember.
Is
but
it
like
Strawberry? No, Strawberry is where you save Micah.
It's
Strawberry's the last place, I think.
Yeah, this is like the first one that's like populated, you know. And so there's this like little gun shop. It's a great place to hold up. You go in the gun shop, so you kill the owner, and so the cops show up. Valentine. That's it. And then the cops show up, and they don't stop showing up. And I'm telling you, the memory, it's good. It can hold probably about 30 bodies in one location before they start disappearing. So there is just a mountain of bodies of cops piling up, to the point where the cops are stepping on top of the piles trying to kill you. They're just using them as mounts to get the high ground. And it's the funniest shit ever.
That used to happen in Grand Theft Auto 4 too. Like I used to do that all the time. Like,
oh, absolutely.
I would just unload in the street and then like run into a hospital.
A hospital corridor was the best place to hold up.
Dude, yeah,
it would be so funny.
It was so fun. But if you saw your kid doing that, you'd be like, yo,
what are you doing?
It's funny.
I got these pictures and people are like, yo, this doesn't look okay.
Bro, what made it funny, I would do that shit, and I would always hope I would get the fat black cop, and I'd call him Carl Winslow, and I'd shoot him I was fucked, bro. I was literally like, dude, that era of video games for me, like, there'd be moments where in Resident Evil 5, where me and my friend would torture Wesker, where we would make him catch he would catch the rocket, and shoot another one, and he'd fall down, and he went up to me, we'd start stabbing him. We would start stabbing him, and then he would get up eventually. And there was one time that we did so much damage to him that we went and ate dinner and came back and he was still on the floor. And we were like, get him, yo, stab him a bit. Yo, we started stabbing him for like 30 minutes, laughing.
Broke the game.
Laughing our asses off, dude. That Resident Evil 5 is the only game that I remember where I skipped a whole portion of a fight. Like, a whole cutscene didn't happen because of how much damage we did to him. Because if you beat the game under 10 hours, you get the infinite rocket launcher. And we were just rocket launching him the whole time. We weren't even trying to engage him. We got to the point where we would know if he would dodge at a certain point. So we get him in scenarios where he would dodge and the rocket would blow up behind him and still damage him. We were fucking monsters.
That's good. That's that scene, that 7-minute scene where like you have to fight him for 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I always wondered how people, because I got the game before some guy sold it to me illegally, meaning before launch. He was like, "Hey, I'm not supposed to do this, but like whatever." So he was probably quitting, I'm imagining. So he already had it on the shelves and shit. And so I got to play it a week before it launched. And I was just seeing these fucking Japanese scores where they had speed runs under like 10 minutes. And I'm like, there's a scene where you have to fight Wesker for 7 minutes. How do you get around that? I guess they figured it out.
For 7 minutes. You fight him only for 7 minutes, and then you speed through the rest of the game in fucking 3.
And I guess that literally makes no sense to me. I was like, dude,
God.
I've tried to get past it. I've never looked up speed running on that because YouTube. I wasn't fucking really watching YouTube that thoroughly in 2008 or 2009 or whatever.
I was
but
a
now,
demon,
I'm gonna look it up.
bro.
I'm gonna look it up now.
Oh my God, the amount that I would hurt. I would just tase the zombies instead of killing them.
But that's but what I'm saying is like
that was so much
way
better
crazier
because it was
but
infinite.
That's also like I'm playing Siphon Filter now on the PlayStation Classics thing, and like there's a taser in that game where you could just tase people until they die. It's really
so funny.
But like like that stuff's way crazier than like tits jiggling. You know what I mean? Like it's such a bizarre thing,
right? To complain about that shit. It was like there was a gay couple kissing in The Walking Dead. And then they're like, "Oh, my kids watch this show." Like there was literally like people complaining about. I think that was after Glenn's head got bashed in too.
I saw a tweet.
Bouncing off the back of Glenn's head is fine.
No, but you don't understand. That's realistic.
And
but
homosexuality isn't.
Homosexuality isn't. Two men kissing is an impossibility to these
it's
people.
It's so funny, bro. I love ignorance, bro. I love it. I love ignorance, Gone. I love ignorance. I love it. I love ignorance.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Holy shit.
All right.
What do we do?
What are we at?
Should we wrap this up?
Let's wrap it up. Let's
we're 2.5 hours.
Let's wrap it up. Yeah. It's good. It's a good little catch up, you know. Thank you guys for stopping by, listening to our little episode. Remember to rate us on iTunes if you can. It really helps us with the algorithms and all that stuff. Like, comment, subscribe,
share,
all that stuff.
all that bullshit.
It does help. It really. I know it's like one of those things that everybody's like annoyed to hear, and it's annoying to say, believe me. But like, it does work. It does help. Unfortunately, we live in a data-driven universe, and
yes,
engaging with our stuff is great. Donating to the Patreon's also great, but if you're somebody who isn't in the Patreon, if you're just kind of hanging out and just listening to episodes on YouTube for free or on Spotify for free when they come out, do us a favor, just interact with it a little bit. It helps.
Also,
what?
Tell Smart Water, Raid Shadow Legends, fucking tell them all sponsor us now.
If you like what you heard
Right
today,
now.
consider supporting us over at patreon.com/thesnarktank. $1 a month gets you access to early access to every episode and access to bonus solo episodes as well as ad-free. $5 gets you a question to read on the show. $10 gets you access to our Discord server. That's one payment in and you're in for good. And $25 gets you named dyslexic right at the end of the show, which I will now do.
3, 2, 1.
Thanks for yesterday, Chris. Your ass is the tightest I've encountered. XOXO, that guy from the bar.
Nice.
Joke's
Nice.
on you. I went to 8 bars. I don't even know who you are.
Fuck. Genius.
Dom, get a fucking beer glass. It's Viagra Falls in this bitch.
Damn.
Oh, man. With
That's
$100 pledge.
Damn.
Thank you so
dude,
much
but
for your
fuck.
squirting.
Thank you so much, man.
Your squirting
Appreciate
patronage.
Yeah, thank you for... Avi, Chris Raygun, professional ass sniffer. If you want to hear Chris drop an N-bomb, go to 51 seconds into YouTube Heroes Censorship the Game. YouTube Heroes Censorship the Game? Oh, yeah, I probably did. King of Haphazard.
Old school YouTube.
Old school YouTube, yeah.
Wait, is
that was when I was breaking all the community guidlines, I think. I was like saying everything that I could
right,
possibly
when
get
they
done.
did some YouTube. Yeah, okay.
I had a
remember
video. I had a video called "Breaking the Community Guidelines," and it was like exploding, and it like got on trending, and then like after 4 hours, the views froze.
that. Yeah,
But it was so funny. But I didn't get. It was so weird. Anyway, King of Haphazard. I'll mention you again at the end because it's tradition. Aetherian, Alaskan Oilfield Trash, Alsta Wall. Okay, you said it right. And $25 gets your name dyslexic right in the show, which I will now do. And as always, rounding out our list, the King of Haphazard. You guys suck. Antiphus Maximus, wielder of the enchanted bike lock. As quickly as he could, Sonic guided Shadow to the couch. What did this to you? Sonic asked as he gingerly pulled off his shirt. Badly Brave, Binkus Stinkus, Blake896, Chris Gate, my Bajurian hunting ass, Cum Man, the man of cum, Cum, the DNA of the soul, Cummy, yummy, summy inside my tummy, Dead Inside, there's a lot of cum, Dead Inside, Depraved McBooty Warrior, Bada Ba Ba Booty, Dead to Heart, I can't read this fucking language you people write, feed somebody forks and they fuck toasters? Okay. Detective Halligan's Exorbitant Pizza Tab, Downey McFrowny, Drunken Doulahan, Elsie Bray's Pyramid Scheme, Ethan Teague, First Things First, I'm gonna say all the words inside my head. Just kidding. We're not doing that shit again, but I hope I got you. For whomst doth the dom squirt, he doth squat for thee. Fresh Fecal Fiesta, Jesus. From the makers of They Them Pussy, it's They Them Come. Fuck it, Automobile. Fuck traveling overseas. I'm trying to travel into her ovaries.
Nice. Let's go.
Almost. That's almost good. Fuck you, Sweeney, you idiot bitch. 4th edition is best edition. If you think otherwise, you agree that Lily isn't real. Fun fact, the VA for James in Pokemon anime toured with Peter Frampton, Ringo Starr, and Leonard Skinner. Okay. I don't know what any of that means.
Interesting.
That's like a very bizarre... That's
a fact that you would...
not interesting enough... That's like not interesting enough to be false.
That's a fact you'd hear before
you know
you
what I
die.
mean?
Right.
Okay. Like the guy that captured you and also fucking sews birds together would tell you that before he fucking blows your head off.
Game Controller 25. George Hard R. Martin. Glasses are just real life FOV sliders. Oh my god. I don't like that. God is dead because Amber Heard shat in his bed. Got my glasses off, but I wear contacts. Parentheses I can still see. Hard Hat Skydivers. Hey boss. Wants Sween to know that his taste in movies is bad and Shang-Chi was mid as fuck. Hugger Derek, the movie theater manager. I became a patron just and spent $25 not to be able to come up with a clever name. I feel gay. Fuck you. I have PPSD. I love my dog. Nothing offensive. I just love her so much. I was recently mentioned by name in a suicide note. KD ratio is officially over 1 now. Yeet. Damn. If I had a nickel for every time Chris was on a podcast talking of alien fucking his bestiality, I'd have 2 nickels. Page 2. I'm going to pause the name reading to take a moment to personally address you, Mark. Don't be alarmed, but you're not listening. John Strickland. Kremlin de Gremlin. Lobotomized Jesus and his merry band of figure nuggets.
You're right.
Marcus Shorten.
Right.
Yeah, I told you. He argued that we don't that phrase isn't said every episode, and I'm like, no, I say it in the names. He's like, no, you're lying. Why would I lie about that? Marcus Shorten, Mega Man X8 guy, and the lack of anything funny to say this time. Melphis 1, Warlock's Hexblade Supremacist, who recently achieved Lichdom. Mercs 1889, Mitch McConnell's Tortoiseshell, Mojave Scribe, Nancy Pelosi killing a Palestinian with her massive tits, Pre-Roz, Richter 86, Ryan Lucchesi, Ryber 525, and the Ministry of the Sudden Uptick in Tomboy Appreciation, Saint Maxi, Shrinkus Funkeldunk, the warlock who is using transversive steps, Sloshy Scout, SpongeBob SquareTits, Steve Harvey Oswald, Sweeney's Clown Pussy Goes Honk Honk, Tell Him Steve Dave, Tevin DeBlack, the non-binary Galaxy Quest fan who has an Alan Rickman Funko Pop cum jar. The only stick I touch while driving is my penis, parentheses I masturbate while driving. The unfortunate naming of NBA coach Steve Kerr's son. The Papini Brothers Emporium of bullet-filled uncles. Wage Slave 583 wasn't an escalation but a brief moment of levitation. We've known each other for so long. Your heart's been acting. You're too shy to say it, parentheses say it. What if JFK's head just did that? Your favorite Martian is back. They are.
They're back tomorrow, right?
They just put out a song today, I think.
Let's go.
I'm so upset. Zach Cool Number, that name that I can't read because it's in hieroglyphics. The First Church of Keith David, 'Tis the Season to Be Gay, Obi Won't You Blow Me, and mentioning, as always, our final guy, King of Haphazard. Thank you guys for all of your support.
Yeah.
We'll catch you on the flip side.
Don't forget.
Don't forget what?
In general.
Uncle.